Good morning, folks. Happy Monday. Hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. Hope you're staying warm if you're in the middle of the cold snap, like where I live currently. Morning, Jug. So, if you're looking for a roundup of my favorite things to play for the Win Streak event, there's a video on that up on the YouTube side now. I'm probably going to start with some bad decks today because getting the 5 Win Streak event done with something that's mediocre will be good for a content metric, I wager. Look at this adorable art on an otherwise completely useless card. My toddler will be excited to log in and claim this because she loves every single time there's a Bulbasaur on one of her cards. That completes my promo cards again, yeah? I think so. I think that's the last time this'll expand, yeah? Thanks for our resubs this morning. Rama Set with the 22 months. Lanky Llama with the 21. Admain with the literal eternity, rapidly approaching the triple-digit sub club. I appreciate the 91 months. Top tier Harley, thank you for hanging out for almost an entire year. I think I want to start. We were playing a Hitmonlee Pidgeot deck last week that felt pretty all right. So I think we're gonna start there. And it's what's the details on this? There's emblems, and then is it 50 wins for all the Stardust or whatever? X McFatty, thank you for the 2/3 of a year, and Vorma, thank you for the brand new sub at tier 1. Yeah, I should make a point to plug this today. So, I've talked about wanting to focus on Pokemon Pocket content as my full-time, but as the song goes, got bills to pay, got mouths to feed. So, I'm gonna see if we can rustle up enough support to make this be my reasonable content focus. So, 2,200 concurrent subscribers. This is concurrent subscribers on Twitch, so we're currently just below 1,900. 2,200 is my goal to try and get up to have this be pretty sustainable for me. So if you have an extra Amazon Prime sub or you enjoy my content, consider throwing me a couple of your own dollary dues via a sub on the Twitch side. I don't think I'll stop making Pocket content, but if we miss the sub goal come the end of the month, we'll probably split the focus a little bit. Go Rim, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. That's very generous of you. Good morning, good morning. Let's hop on in here, shall we? Should we keep packs until the next card set? I mean, if you're happy with all the cards you have from the current set, yeah, sitting on your hourglasses is good. If you mean like not opening your regular packs, no, you can only stack up 2 packs at a time. So you should definitely be opening your daily packs. First, opening on our 1 Marshadow is not ideal, but we have 2 of our evolutions here, and we have research and a Pokeball, which is nice. So because we're looking for a specific basic Pokemon, I'm actually going to research before I Pokeball here, because if we draw non-Pidgey basics, this is more likely to draw Pidgey for us. I just want to maximize my chance of getting this online ASAP. That's a little unfortunate. I think I'm going to play this here, and I'm not going to play the second one out, because ideally, with both of these in my hand, I want to go Amber and Pidgey in these other 2 slots. We're a little sad if we get red carded, but otherwise. Johnny, thank you for the 5 gifted subs as well. Appreciate the support. Good morning, good morning. Here's Johnny. One of the most important things I want to hammer home to folks playing in the win streak event is that, you know, a big part of hitting these win streak events is going to be volume of play. Some of us are going to get lucky and hit that 5-0 on the first time, but even if you have a really incredible win rate, it's going to take you a little while to hit 5 in a row a lot of the time. These types of events are about playing more. A stat I always like to share is that if you have an 80% win rate, which is like a really good, really high win rate, but if you have an 80% win rate, you will still only 5-0 right in a row, 1 out of 3 set of 5 games that you play. So these types of events are about playing enough that your variance breaks in a way. Obviously, you want to play good decks and you want to play well also, but just doing both of those things is not enough to guarantee the result you're looking for is the thing to be aware of. All right, so we go to 20. This breakpoint works out all right for us. I can do this. I suppose I was debating if I want to pass back and let this get knocked out. But I think I actually want to use the X speed now and get the Hitmonlee up, because hitting this for 30 means that this clears it in 1. So there's real value in using the Hitmonlee to kind of chew our food in the background here to start. How's this game following its honeymoon period? Any improvements made? Are there improvements needed? So the client definitely needs a number of quality of life features, like the deck editor leaves a good bit to be desired in a number of key spots. But as far as gameplay is concerned, I'm still really liking Pokemon Pocket's gameplay here, you know, 3 months later. And Pokemon Pocket has a new set on the horizon at the end of the month that's going to almost double the number of cards in the game. I think it's honestly really incredible the range of decks we already see in this game. So I'm excited to experience more of it as it grows. I am optimistic after what we've experienced, not annoyed. Okay, so Pidgeot has Dry Evolve here, which lets us combo with the Hitmonlee to put 30 damage on the Wheezing, which is nice. Because putting 30 damage on the Wheezing means Giovanni with Pidgeot lets us clear this in 1 also. So I'm going to go ahead and stretch kick that bad Mamajamma. And again, just like kind of softening up our opponent's backline so we can clear them out with our attackers that are kind of mid-size here. So Hitmonlee works really nicely in tandem with these deal 70s and deal 80s for 2 here. The data mine for the next set to release is January 29th, but it's also worth noting that the last time they data mined a set was coming out, it did actually release as expected. So I think we have a precedent for that. We have a precedent for the data mines to be accurate, basically. It's a shame that that this missed, but it is what it is. They slept us, and then we stayed asleep. This is going to get knocked out, so we'll have a knockout next turn regardless. For any of my folks who are previous Marvel snappers hanging out here, taking a look at Pokemon Hero and how it is a few months later, one of the things that I think is important to acknowledge is that in addition to the core game rules being good, Pocket's still just on a couple of sets. So like a good comparison I can make is that Pokemon Pocket right now in a lot of ways is kind of like playing with just set 1 and set 2 cards, or series 1 and series 2 cards from Marvel Snap. And as they ramp up and release a bunch of new sets over the course of the next year, the dynamic of the game is going to change a good bit. I bet we'll start seeing more Pokemon with like Pokemon abilities and multiple attacks and stuff like that come up as the game matures more. I am not sure if I want a Hitmonlee or another Pidgey on my bench. So I think I wait to make this last bench decision. We'll go ahead and we'll wing attack this Tauros. I hope they don't power creep the base set too hard. I mean, And obviously, like I said, we don't have a good basis to go from. But the first Mythical Island expansion makes me pretty optimistic about how their card designs are going to go, because I really think they did a phenomenal job in the first Island expansion that we had of making the decks you could play wider without strictly power creeping, right? Like, they added new good tools to the format. Things like Mew-EX and Tauros made more things playable without making the things that were previously at the top unplayable. So Wheezing here, notably weak to fighting. So despite my opponent's potion here, Aerodactyl EX is going to get to go ahead and jump on up and smack them down. Things looking pretty good for our first game here in our win streak event. I'm going to put a second energy here. I'm going to go ahead and burn my X speed so I don't lose an energy to pull this out. I'm going to continue to wait on my last bench slot, just trying to get a feel for... trying to get a feel for whether or not we want to hit only or whatnot here. So Land Crush picks our second knockup point out. And with Drowsy here on the bench, so like they can Psy Punch us, and then if the Sleep Pendulum works, they could maybe run this down. But Pidgeot's Drive Off ability works from the bench here, so we're gonna get to push this one out. And so long as my Aerodactyl gets to retreat from the active spot here at some point, we just need to win one Sleep Flip and pull it out, we'll be able to put a 1 knockout point Pokemon up. And once we get a 1 knockout point Pokemon up, Marshadow's going to be able to clean out for us. So we did miss the Sleep Flip, so we are sleepy timed here. I'm gonna go ahead and drive off, like I said. If they want to attack us for 50 next turn, they're going to have to pull both energies off of this or have like a leaf. So we wake up, but they have 2 chances to put us back to sleep again, and then we have another wake up. Going to be a little bit of variance here, but I think on average the coins are leaning in our direction. All right, with them having the leaf there, we need to wake up this turn. Haha, got him. Cool. And like I said, we had 2 turns that we needed to wake up over, and we went ahead and hit it. So I'm gonna go ahead and I think I'm just putting out. We'll get the Hitmonlee with the energy at this point. Actually, I guess I could put the energy on here. It probably doesn't matter overall. We get to go ahead and retreat to this, and now because my opponent only has 1 knockout point, and I got my EX out of the active slot, the EX would have given up 2 points. I get to go ahead and crack them with this wing attack. And then even if they manage to clear this by sleeping me a bunch, the Marshadow deals 100 with its revenge. So unless they have something that survives a 100-point hit from Marshadow, they're gonna be in trouble today. Yeah, and I played the Hitmonlee out of my bench now, so that way they can't Sabrina up Marshadow or Aerodactyl. So Sleepy Time Bird. We win the game on the spot if we wake up, but we're also pretty well set up even if we don't. Okay, cool. And we hit the head, so it's fortunate to hit the heads, but also, you know, we didn't need it here the way we maneuvered this game. Thus, Zetharan, thank you for the tier 1, by the way. Appreciate that. All right, gamers, we are going to take a brief pause for the cause and take our first ad break of the morning. I think I'm going to go ahead and hop on the bike. I'll throw our fighting Pidgeot deck list up here because some folks were asking for it. We were playing this a little bit last week, and it was a lot of fun. Going to be our first round of tries here in the win streak event this morning. Thanks for hanging out. Don't go anywhere, gamers. Watch on the YouTube side, consider tapping the like button on the live stream. It doesn't cost you anything. It's a free little bit of engagement that helps the algorithm make the content reach some more people. Do any Pokemon do damage as multiple types? They do not. No multiple weakness types either. I think paper Pokemon did multi-type Pokemon like once upon a time, but it was a while ago and they haven't done it again since, I believe is my understanding of that. Did you end up liking the Wheezing Muck deck? I really did, actually. Tomorrow's highlight will actually be with the Wheezing Muck deck. I think Leaf really felt clean with that. I think I like Muck with the Leaf better than Scolipede. Stage 2s are just such a tough sell. They're so inconsistent. I never played the paper game. Are these the new cards ported over, or are they designing new things? So some of the artwork from the paper game has gotten reused in Pokemon Pocket, but all the card designs are new. There's some very clear, like, parallels, like this was inspired by this paper design, but all of these cards here are new for Pocket. Thanks for finding the like button, Genesis. Star Lumi is the best deck. I like the Star Lumi deck a lot. We'll definitely be playing that in some more tournaments this week for sure. It works out for me that the 5 win streak event is up today, though, because I have to sign off a little bit early today. We only do about 4 hours. So we can do this, then we'll be back to doing some tournaments tomorrow. Hey, Marcelo. Thanks for dropping by a live one. Appreciate the support. Glad you enjoyed the YouTube stuff. Dwight. With the 98-month resubscription. 96 is 8 years. Yeah, quick maths. Thanks for the 8 and change. Coming up on 100. Any thoughts on Marble Snap going dark in the US? I think that is an incredibly unfortunate and impossible situation for Second Dinner to be in. Ben Brode had posted something that they had inquired as to whether or not the TikTok would impact them, and they were told that it wouldn't, and it was a surprise to all of them. I don't think there's any reason to believe otherwise, like keeping their player base in the dark about something like that, or at least not having a contingency plan if they were told it might impact them. But being explicitly told that, hey, this isn't going to impact you, and then getting hit by it is pretty awful. Gaber, thank you for the 15 months. Welcome back. How could that happen anyway? So Marvel Snap's publishing company. So Second Dinner is an independent indie studio, and Marvel Snap's their first game. But one of the way indie studios are successful is they have publishers that manage other things for them. And for people that aren't familiar with the video game developer-publisher relationship, it varies a little bit from studio to studio and game to game, but generally speaking, publishers handle things like getting you on the App Store and doing promotion for your thing and handling other things like events and stuff like that. So Second Dinner makes the actual game, but their publisher provides some financial support and investment, and then also handles a lot of the logistical type of stuff around the game, which is really beneficial for a newer, smaller studio that doesn't have the resources to self-publish. And TikTok is owned by ByteDance, who owns the publishing company that Second Dinner works with as well. So when ByteDance took down TikTok, they basically malicious compliance and took down all the apps that they publish inside of the United States. So Newverse is owned by ByteDance. So Newverse is technically Snap's publishing company, but they're owned by ByteDance, which is the owner of TikTok. Is it true that Genetic Apex A1 may rotate out? 100% Pokemon Pocket will eventually have a rotation. We won't get news on that for a long time, though, and if I was a best guess, I would wager that Pokemon Pocket's going to follow the same rotation cycle as paper Pokemon, meaning your cards are going to be are going to be legal, meaning your cards are going to be legal for 2 years would be my best guess. So I would wager our sets that released right now probably will rotate in October of 26 would be my best guess. And then we'll have, I would bet all of our sets this first year are going to be A1, A2, A3, A4. And then October of this year, we'll have B1. And then they'll rotate all the A's at the same time, all the B's at the same time. I'm going to say one more thing about the snap thing, and then I'm going to move forward to ignoring it and making a chat command. So the Newverse thing is also complicated because ByteDance announced they were divesting publishing games because they largely weren't making money from it. But my understanding of the situation is that Marvel Snap is one of their few games that actually really makes money, so they were electing to keep that one because it's actually profitable for them. Infernflow, thank you for the over 6 years. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Gaber, thank you for the 15 months. 6 years, that's crazy. You must have missed it a minute ago. We had Dwight check in for over 8 Daddy. Yeah, I've been making content here on the internet for a long time. My Twitch account is like 12 or 13 years old at this point. What is it? My Twitch account was made in May 1st of 2012. 13 years old. Rejana, thank you for the Prime support. I appreciate that. Roof Toilet, thank you for the 5 months. And Shadowcat with the 2/3 of a year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Yeah, before Pokemon Pocket, I did Magic the Gathering for a long time. I did 2 years focusing on Marvel Snap most recently. And then, the last month we're trying out this full-time Pokemon thing and seeing where it goes for my metrics and stuff. So, if you're someone that finds yourself enjoying my stuff here 7 days a week on YouTube or 5 days a week on Twitch, and you're in the financial position to do so, consider subscribing. You can do that for free with Amazon Prime as well. I would love for this to be my full-time content focus moving forward. As the song goes, got bills to pay, got mouths to feed. So I appreciate the folks that make that possible. Like Mick Lovin, thank you for the brand new tier 1. And Ye Old Fart, thanks for the baker's dozen. Channel's entering its angsty teenage years. We are 13, aren't we? Delmise and a Snivy. So this is one of the instances where non-promo Snivy is a big deal, right? Because non-promo Snivy takes 3 kicks to clear. I think I want to get kicking. This is probably a very difficult matchup for us. We don't have it's kind of just guessing which stage 1 they have here. I'm gonna go after the Bulbasaur because I'm never beating a Venusaur. I have a better chance to clear through these post Hitmonlee. If the Venusaur gets online, we're never winning the game, so I'm gonna try and run that one down. Oh, Danger and Aramis, thank you for the brand new primers. Oh, this is unfortunately terrifying because it means that they're loading up this, yeah. I'm gonna keep stretch kicking the Bulbasaur here, but I assume there's gonna be a superior and then clear us with a 90 damage whip next turn. Yep. Okay, so I have Marshadow here to let me clear this out. Oh, you know what? If I draw our 1 copy of Giovanni, we could clear the superior with this. Unlucky. All right, so I'm gonna keep it concealed for now that I have the evolution for this. I'm not using it this turn. We'll go ahead and we'll take our revenge. And then if they unfortunately have both of their stage 2s, we're just gonna be dead here. So we're kind of hoping that they brick on this Venusaur for a quick minute. Them putting it into the active slot does not bode well for the home team. Okay. So, I think I do this. I do energy here. We go ahead and we drive off. Hey, McLovin, I've been a long VOD watcher, first time live. Thanks for sharing your knowledge of the game. Thanks for the support. I appreciate you keeping me around. All right, so if they brick on Erica and Venusaur next turn, this Hitmonlee gets to chew this up here. And even if they have it, we can potentially pump out enough damage. If they have Erica Forest is better than Venu. Venu's probably still a tough nut to crack at this point. The little yellow plus icon on the opponent's energy means that they have the jungle totem active from Superior here. Means their energies are worth extra. Okay, and then now this is excellent, right? I get to go ahead. They missed on their things for long enough. Our game plan to clear through this is working out. We'll go ahead and take this one off the board. It gives us our second knockout point. And now, if they need to get a bench Pokemon that doesn't get cleared by Wing Attack here, because our drive off's gonna let us swap them up. So they need Ivysaur here, or like a Celebi. Sweet. Feel like we navigated this one really well. This deck's got a ton of cool lines. This is one of the reasons why I wanted to start with it today. Drive off, plus stretch kicks. Plus, like, your Giovannis, you have a lot of really interesting breakpoints. It's W number 2. All right, we have achieved our participation medal. No, we're just playing Baby Pidgeot in this deck. Basic idea is that we've got Pidgeot and Marshadow that deal 70 and 80 for 2. And then we use Hitmonlee to kind of soften things up so we can clear them with our 2 energy attackers. We're going first. Meowth, that's right, eh? Get these friends played out here. They've elected not to give us a bench Pokemon to attack. Without the Aerodactyl EX in hand, I'm going to go ahead and slide the energy on to Marshadow here, because Marshadow's Revenge plus Weakness will clear this Meowth in 1 next turn, which is nice. We'll get to draw a couple of cards, but they'll mark a pretty minimal amount of damage, and then I'll get to take a knockout point here. They are, I guess they're not guaranteed to be Mewtwo. It feels likely they are. Where's this energy going on Mew EX? Yep. I assume they're going to take another draw here. Definitely going to be a X speed swap the Mars Shadow in angle. Although it's noteworthy that Mars Shadow is going to get cleared in 2 by a Mew due to weakness. We need our stage 1 ASAP, so that way we can get working towards this to have an attacker that they're not going to be super effective into. Aerodactyl's also not weak to Psychic, would be nice. Putting the Hitmonlee up is actually potentially problematic because they can genome hacking and kick my bench with it. So I think I'm just with the Aerodactyl draw here. I'm going to go ahead and just crack them for 40, and then Aerodactyl plus Giovanni clears Mew next turn, which would be a game win for us. We offer this point up essentially, so that way Aerodactyl can threaten to get us a game win here. Tackius, thank you for the over a year and a half. Welcome back. Good morning. Good morning. Let's see if they play around the Giovanni here or not. They did not. We got him, gamers. Small mistake, and opponent takes the bait, and they're going down. And gets us on the scoreboard for win number 3 here. It's worth noting that if our opponent had played this properly, we still would have been in a decent spot because we hit the stage 1 here, but get to just take the win nice and clean, and they don't play around the Giovanni Aerodactyl. Hey, Mata, thanks for helping us hit our sub goal for sticking on Pokemon Pocket content full time. Appreciate that, brand new tier 1. Good morning, good morning. All right, gamers, we're 3-0. I know we always have more people coming in, so you're going to hear me repeat this a lot today, honestly, all week, but I just really want to remind people that if you're finding yourself frustrated with the win streak event, don't let this type of event steal your joy from enjoying Pokemon Pocket as a game. Pokemon, remember, the actual progression rewards in this game, you only need to play 10 games. It's just a cosmetic. These win streak events are designed to be high variance. Even if you're winning a lot, you're going to need to get lucky a little bit to get 5 in a row. So if you find yourself really frustrated or hating Pocket, you should definitely take a break or play just regular queue instead of this event. Your games should be fun. Don't let them feel like chores or something that's a source of anger. Johnny, thank you for the 5 gifted again. Appreciate that. Hey, Aerodactyl is a lovely hit here. So I don't know exactly where I want to put stretch kick damage long term because they could have the Cloyster. But my kind of starting goal when Hitmonleeing in this deck, if there isn't an obvious target like Magikarp, is you just want to get Crack-a-Lackin on whatever their things are that currently live through your 70s and 80s. So like trying to soften up everything on their bench so that way it goes down to a single Land Crush or a single Wing Attack is where you want to start with Hitmonlee here. It sucks to lose the Aerodactyl, but I would love to find a Pidgey. And they gave us Pidgey and Professor's Research here. Like, we make fun of Red Card a lot in this stream because it's just, like, statistically not a good card, but it's an exceptionally bad card in the games where your opponent hasn't played any copies of Research yet. Because the odds that they redraw or make their hand better when there's 2 Researches in their deck is just so high. Chespin, thank you for the quarter of a year. I appreciate that. And 9G TTV, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Good morning, folks. So what's the plan here? Tentacruel. Tentacruel does 50 plus poison. So if they have Tentacruel next turn, because they red carded away my Aerodactyl, they can actually evolve into it, which is a big deal. That being said, I have Marshadow to deal 100 after they clear. And then we have Pidgeotto to finish the job. So I think I'm going to go ahead and get the Stretch Kick on this Articuno here still. Again, just wanting to soften up this EX. So that way Wing Attack plus Giovanni or an Aerodactyl Land Crush off the top can clean it out. Thanks for the 3rd of a year, Rockman. Appreciate it. Cleared 5 wins with the Charizard deck from the video. Awesome, Nathan. Congrats. Oh, and they don't have the Tentacool here. Well, that's really good for us, obviously. Oh, if they clear with Poison, Marshadow doesn't proc. That's a good thought. I wasn't thinking about that. That's actually a really, really good point. There's Geo. So we're equally likely to draw Aerodactyl and Pidgeot. So I guess I'm putting this here. And it's kind of a 50-50 where I want to put this energy. I think I want to go ahead and Stretch Kick the Bruxish question mark. There's merit to hitting both of these. I'm gonna crack the Tentacool actually, because if I crack the Tentacool and they don't evolve it, I can knock it out next turn, getting my first point, and then clearing the Articuno wins the game. Hey Wit, thanks for the brand new Prime, appreciate it. Okay, and they found the Tentacruel here, but finding the Tentacruel means that my Pidgeotto or my what's it called can still clean this from 80, which is nice. Oh man, we're potentially in trouble here, gamers. So red card is one of those cards that we talk about. You know, it has a strong bias in favor of playing it because of the real feel bads. If we don't find an Aerodactyl or a Pidgeot, we could be in trouble here. I'm gonna go ahead and Stretch Kick Bruxish, just so like the damage spread out on all of these here. And if they clear this, the Marshadow cleans this, and then we just need to draw either of these to get our last knockout point, I think. Bardic with the 5 gifted subs as well. Thank you. Good morning, good morning. Yeah, and everything on the board is in Aerodactyl range, or it's in Giovanni plus Pidgeot range. Oh man, that is. They don't have energies on anything right now, which is beneficial. I think I'm playing the Hitmonlee out. because they could be on a second red card, realistically. We wouldn't mind if they red card us, but I just want to just keep my hand small. So this picks us up 2 points. And then they're notably only at 1. So I think the plan here is they're gonna, if they switch up one of these, we'll swap out the Marshadow and put the Hitmonlee up and try and get a knockout on this Shelter. And then obviously if we hit either of these 2 evolutions, we're just like win on the spot. So we have 4 of those evolutions plus a Professor's Research and 8 cards. So a little better than 50% to be able to pick this game up here. Opponent making some moves here. Yeah, opponent definitely made a bit of a mistake not clearing with the Shelter for sure. I believe when we queued into this game, our opponent's account level was kind of low, so they're probably a newer player. Duck Doolittle, thank you for the almost 5 years. Welcome back. All right, so 5 out of 6 hits get us our stage 2s next turn, which is nice. Franco's World, thank you for the 39 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. And then we just kick the Bruxish here, right? Because they need a potion. They could have an evolution to save Shelter, but they need a potion to save Bruxish. Just cleared my 5 wins using the Wiggly Eggs deck. It felt just like Jeff said, there's always a chance in any game that you're playing. Nice, Curve. Yeah, Wiggly X is such a powerful effect. When you get it online, speak of the devil. The sing-song devil. Hey, stretchy gamer takes it down. All right, we're up to 4. Let's see if we can be fortunate hit it on the first try through, huh? I don't want a Twitch ad to happen in the middle of gameplay, because I think that's rude, especially while we're going for our 5th win. So let's throw the deck list up on screen that we're playing this morning. We're going to take a brief pause for the cause while the Twitch ads happen. And we'll be back to try this 5th game in just a minute. Thanks for hanging out. Don't go anywhere. If you're watching on the YouTube side, I'm going to tap an advert over there, too, for a quick minute. Consider tapping the like button on the stream today if you're enjoying the vibes of the channel. Doesn't cost you anything and helps the content reach some more people. Wow, we're actually neck and neck on Twitch and YouTube in terms of viewer count. We've got about 650 people on each. Sweet to see the YouTube streams popping a bit with Pocket. Johnny, you've been super generous this morning. Thanks for helping us crush towards our full-time continued Pokemon goal. Appreciate that. Did you notice any cannibalization across the platforms? I'm sure there's some amount of people that are watching on YouTube that previously watched on Twitch, but it's probably not a ton. Josh, thanks for the 23 months. I appreciate the Prime. Welcome back. Does YouTube doing slightly better on live streams have any impact on your decision to do full-time Pocket or not? So, ad revenue is pretty nominal compared to like direct support ad main. And while YouTube has like some small amount of members, it's like very minuscule compared to Twitch subs. So I threw the sub goal up because that direct support from Prime and paid subs is like the biggest part of my income month to month. And for the old timers here as a point of reference, I actually looked back when I was thinking about like what seemed like a reasonable and good goal for me to stay happy on Pocket, but also be sustainable. And like 23 and 24 focusing on Snap full time, I averaged about 2,700 concurrent subs on Twitch for both of those years. So 2,200 would be a little bit down from that, but it's still plenty reasonable. If we could hit that, I would choose to be happy. If we maintain that, I would choose to be happier playing Pocket rather than playing games that I'm less enthused with to try and hit better metrics. Abobi, thanks for the 3/4 of a year. Welcome back. I would do like I was doing in January and November and split my time with Snap and Pocket. Like, Snap just had Twitch drops, so I certainly missed a big chunk of income not streaming for Snap drops. Shano, thank you for the 7 months. And Prior T, thank you for the 2. Abobi, thanks for the 3/4 of a year. All right, final boss. Can we sneak in our 5th game win on the first go round, huh? First energy advantage is a good one to have. This is not an amazing opener, and honestly, grass energy is a little scary for our deck. We have double stage 1s here though. Hey, Cheese, thanks for the primer. Okay, we're gonna have this as soon as possible here, which is pretty good. We don't have the Hitmonlee we'd like to open with, but it's hard to be too upset when you have your stage 2 ASAP in a deck like this. I'd love to find a fossil so we could get this going. Campa, thanks for the 1.5 years. Welcome back. Mars Shadow's not bad. So Mars Shadow here insulates us a little bit from a big high roll. It means that if they like X speed to this and put this up, or they wouldn't even need a high roll if they have X speed plus their stage 2. If they have X speed plus stage 2, we're gonna be in trouble. Come on, dealer. No stage 2. One time. No stage 2. One time. Oh, man. And then this is the extra dagger here. Is not only did they have the X speed and the stage 2, but they also had a Celebi for the bench, so I can't drive off and clear their superior. If they wouldn't have had the other Celebi, I could have cleared the superior out, and then we would have had a real fighting shot here. But unfortunately, that's probably all she wrote. Let's tap this, see where we end up at. What's going on, toddler girl?
I want something to eat.
Oh, wait. Was this wrong?
Daddy, I don't want something to eat. You please.
Hold on just a second, Haley girl. I was not supposed to evolve this because if they didn't have...
Any idea?
if they didn't have Erica or Potion, I could have cleared the Celebi with this. We'd probably still end up dead either way, but this was wrong to evolve. Yeah, and they have the Erica too. Do you need something? What you need?
I need opening Pokemon cards on my phone.
Oh, you need help opening Pokemon cards on your phone? We'll do Pokemon cards on your phone later, okay?
No, help playing this thing that you'll do.
Okay, we'll play together later, okay?
No, not together.
Oh, you just want me to launch it so you can play on your own?
Yeah.
Do you know where the phone is?
I think so. I just bring it down.
Okay, yeah, you bring it down and I'll get it loaded up for you. Yep, and this is honestly, in a way, I think I'm glad that this happened on stream, because this is the type of thing that's gonna happen to a lot of folks. I know it's gonna be very frustrating for folks. Like, you know, we won 4 in a row, and then our opponent was playing a very good deck, and they had a very good hand in their very good deck, and they had decent coins with their Celebi. These win streak events, even if you have a really strong win rate, are really high variance, you know? If you're winning 80% of your games, you're still only 30% to win 5 in a row, and that's just gonna happen. The key to being successful in these types of events is playing enough to hit that good streak. I hope for your sake the Texas power grid holds up, Ben, but I also hope for your sake you have a plan for when it doesn't. 4 to 6 inches of snow is not a good time in the South on average. Okay.
My phone.
Yep, you got your game?
Okay, are you on your mobile phone?
I am gonna play more. Yep.
Any ideas, Daddy? What do you say? I have an idea. Bentley, they will fix this. No, still sticky.
All right, we got a couple of our missions done. We'll give it another try here in a minute. You want to open your pack? You want to pick which pack you want to get? I'll help you find a game.
So when I'm ready.
Yes, you can do your pack right there. Jacqueline, the faceless one. Thank you for the 2 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. All right, let's give it another try. I've been enjoying this deck. It hurts a little bit to hit that rough beat on the final boss, but we go again. What you got, Haley girl?
This one's my favorite. You like this one?
That's the big kitty. She evolves from the little kitty that you have. You want to put her in your deck?
One more way.
So if they high roll a little bit on the Kangaskhan, our Pidgey could go down in 1 here, but I don't think that's something we're playing around on average.
One more way, one more way. I'm looking at the Pikachu pack. Hey, which one is this one?
Why is it that every time I get to 4 wins, the last game I draw the worst hands and my opponent draws all gas? So, Toverload, I actually reached out to the Pokemon Pocket devs directly, and I had them rig your account. So every time you get to 4 wins, I make sure you get an unbeatable AI opponent, and that your RNG is exceptionally bad. So you should feel better knowing it's not your fault. It is actually rigged against you, and I'm the reason why.
Hey, look. My voice been having fun. Look at
It is a Jigglypuff, you're right.
This one's looking real. We kept this one bad. It's not so funny, it's punchy. Oh, the blue guy!
That's Horsey.
Daddy!
Well, that's the opposite of a Kangaskhan high roll. We appreciate that. Yes, toddler girl. Um, there isn't a Bulbous right now. You just have Eevee, okay? Yep, you wanna play the game?
But I wanna pick my one that I wanna play with.
Okay. You got your Horsey deck and your Pikachu deck.
Okay, can I sit if you need to take my
Yeah, you can sit right there in that chair.
just in case I need help.
Yep. Great, so they got one heads here, but we've got this one ready to go. Their potion here is actually a little unfortunate because it means that I can't clear with wing attack this turn. How do you beat Pikachu with the Starmie Lumineon deck? Oopsie deck. So the key to playing the Pikachu matchup with Starmie Lumineon is you need to make sure you don't give up an EX Starmie knockout until your last possible knockout. A lot of the time you're maneuvering. Okay, you look at me. A lot of the time you're maneuvering so your Farfetch. You want the mommy cat? I'm gonna put the mommy kitty in your deck with your mommy horsey, okay? We'll put them in there together. Mustard Machine, thank you for the brand new Prime. I appreciate it. That was a lot of Eevee heads, gamers. Yikes. All right, the Marshadow probably means we're done here, though. So I get to go ahead and wing attack, knock this one out. Gives us our second point, and then should they clear this, Marshadow's ready to crunch in the backswing. Kiwi, thank you for the 3 months in advance. I appreciate that. Good morning, good morning. Or Sabrina-ing me. That doesn't really matter. We have plenty of energy to spread around here. We'll swap the Pidgeot back in, crack this down to 80, and then this is weak to fighting, so we'll threaten to put them for 120. Deal. Hey, I love you, but if you want to stay in my office, you have to let Daddy talk while he works, okay? Thank you. Oh, I missed the lethal with the Giovanni plus this. Yeah. I'm gonna blame my adorable toddler distraction. But yes, the wing attack plus Geo. That's one of those things that you kind of gotta reprogram your brain that your autopilot doesn't catch. Because normally you can't Sabrina and Geo in the same turn. And remembering that your Pidgeot is not a Sabrina and you can Geo the same turn requires some muscle memory differentiation from a lot of the pocket. So, Pocket's first mini set, we got spoilers 4 days in advance via the release announcement. So, if they follow that same pattern and the data mines are correct that the set's going to drop like the 28th and the 29th, this Friday, in theory, we should get a set teaser. Maybe they'll potentially give us a couple of teasers or something further in advance. It's going to be 3 card packs instead of 1. But if they follow the same... cadence of what we saw with the first mini set, Friday's my expectation. Yes, yeah, I'll be on the Twitch front page on the Friday after the set release on the 31st, and then our open tournament's gonna be on February 1st, which is sweet. Right, they have first energy advantage, but we've got pretty decent hand here. Water energy Drudagon, gonna need a Hitmonlee ASAP. We don't have an X speed either though. No Hitmonlee, no X speed in the opener here is a really big deal. It means that if they've got their Magikarp or their Squirtle, they're gonna get powering up before we can interface with it at all. Hey, Sox fan, thanks for 7 months. Glad you're enjoying Pocket. I have been too. Yep, there's the Carp and the Froakie. We have a painfully slow hand for interfacing with us. All right, we're gonna hit Hitmonlee and X Speed. We have 2 of each, yeah? I am not going to play the Hitmonlee out here because I don't want them to know it's coming. I'm just going to put the energy up here. We'll evolve this. And it's worth noting that even if they have the Gyarados ASAP here, we're not just dead. Because the Hitmonlee can still kind of soften this up. And you know, our draw wasn't ideal. Maybe they won't have it. Narrator, they always have it. So it's going to take them 2 turns. It's going to take them 2 turns to get energy on this Gyarados. So we're going to get to crack the Gyarados twice over that time. We're really hoping to draw X speed, so that way we can pull this out without losing the energy on it. Perfect. Because what the game plan is here to win is it's going to be soften this Gyarados up twice, and then Mars Shadow plus other friends get to clean it out ultimately. So I'm gonna need energy on two things behind here. Maybe we'll be a little fortunate they won't have Leaf right off the bat, huh? I think I kick the Gyarados one more time here, so that way if they don't have the Leaf, I can kick it a 3rd time. Okay, no Leaf here is a really big deal, because it means that Hitmonlee gets to tag this once more, and then Mars Shadow cleans it, and they don't get a second knockout point with the Gyarados. Pidgey is a lovely pull here. This is why we were saving that last bench slot and didn't play the other old Amber out last turn. we have 4 Pokemon lines. Let's kick this. Oh, you know what? I've made a small mistake here. Because I need Mars Shadow to clear this, I should put the second energy on here to play around them hitting the 1 in 9 and taking the energy off of this. So I definitely should have put the energy. I've exposed myself to a critical failure rate by putting the energy on the Pidgey. And this is, again, just, it's one of those things. It's like the autopilot play is that you're supposed to spread your energy out to give you more options, but Gyarados being here changes that dynamic. Oh, yeah, that's true. If they had hit the Mars Shadow, Geo plus Aerodactyl would have let me clean. That's a good call out. So I was okay regardless, but I still made a mistake, and it's worth pointing out that I made the mistake. Too often in games like this, people just assume, oh, I won the game, so that means I didn't make a mistake, and that's really not the case. You definitely, to be a better player in Pokemon Pocket, you want to be thinking very critically about even the games that you win, looking for lines that you could have done better. You gotta have the baby unicorn in play for 1 turn, and then you can play the mommy out, okay? Okay, and then they're just dead to the Pidgeot plus just the Pidgeot plus the wing attack. You get to go ahead and drive off here, and then we clean them out. Wait, that's 2 in a row for us.
Hey, look, I have 1 point. I have 1 point. Daddy, look, I have 1 point. Hey, look, I have 1 point.
Oh, good job, Haley girl. Don't forget to put your power up on every turn. Gregor Strauss, thanks for the baker's dozen. Welcome back. Appreciate it. You know, I'd actually prefer to go first with this type of hand. This card's actually really good when you go first. You go evolve, put the energy on, and then this, then this. Execute is really scary. Yes, Haley girl. She is hurt, yep. You can give her medicine. My plan if we fall short of maintaining the sub goal is that we'll... My plan if we fall short of maintaining the sub goal is that we'll split my time between Pocket and Snap. I'm not planning to stop playing Pocket. I've really enjoyed playing Pocket, but also got bills to pay and mouths to feed, so we're gonna make good business decisions based on what metrics look like. I would love to Giovanni and clear this. It's a shame we didn't find Aerodactyl.
I only have.
Okay, so our breakpoints here are pretty solid for us. This does 120 with 2 energies, and Pidgeot notably has 130 life. So we'll get to Even if they have their stage 2 next turn, Pidgeot's gonna clean, and then Aerodactyl is ready to go to finish them, hopefully, from the back line. JSK, thank you for the Prime, appreciate it. Player bench Pokemon out. Actually, do I just take a crack here on something in their back line? That's kind of close, actually. I get kind of in trouble if they have XP. I think I'm just gonna take the hit here. I think I'm just gonna crack them.
Aerodactyl.
Drive off is better versus Erica. Yeah, I suppose. I can't play around everything though. Oh, they don't have their stage 2.
Hey, look, I'm on the card right.
I don't think I'm playing out the second one of these just yet. Wouldn't mind the slot for Marshadow.
Hey, look,
Picks up our second knockout.
I'm on the card right.
That's okay.
And I don't have any medicine. Oh,
That's okay, just use your attacks. Or you can retreat her back and put Wiggly up. All right, there's another one. So, promo Jiggly versus regular Jiggly is one of those things where your worst draws are worse without the promo Jiggly because you can't high roll some sleep hits. However, in an ideal or average case draw, you're never attacking with Jiggly anyways. So I'm not gonna lie to you and tell you that your deck isn't worse if you're missing the promo Jiggly, unfortunately. But I think the deck is still very fine and playable if you play regular Jigglypuff, because attacking with either Jigglypuff is a failure state anyways. It's something you're looking to avoid.
I had to.
Hey Jane, thanks for the 24 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. You won your game, Haley girl? Yes, Haley's opened some cards. She has a 1-star Rapidash that's Mommy Horsey, if you hear her talking about Mommy Horsey while she hangs out. And she has an immersive Pikachu as her movie card. So she has a deck with each of those, and she wins a lot against the solo battles. You're very good, Haley girl. I'm glad you're having fun. What? Yep, Daddy actually has to take a break here at work. I'm gonna throw the deck list up, gamers, and I'm gonna set the toddler up upstairs. That's what you were gonna ask. Your dad's so smart sometimes. Only sometimes, though. Don't tell your mom. All right, have an advert, gamers. Tap a like on the live stream if you're hanging out on the YouTube side. We'll be back in 2 minutes. We are currently 3 wins into this streak. Let's see if we can wrap it up this time.
I only have one.
Julio. All right, toddler, I'm gonna carry you. Office is too much shit. Convenient. I had to walk upstairs anyways. We've got, we are 3D printing trophies for upcoming Pinewood Derby for the Cub Scouts, and the print failed on one of the printers up there, so we canceled that before it wasted more filament or whatever it's called. All right, so we are 3-0 here. I was able to get the day off for the open. You know, I should make a point. I should make a point to plug that while we're hanging out today. Before we dive on in, we've been talking about the next set coming up. And shortly after the next set drops on February 1st, Spraggles and I are going to be hosting our first open tournament for Pokemon Pocket. It is going to be completely free to enter. And we've got 1,500 USD worth of prizes sponsored by Advanced GG and Into the AM, two of my awesome sponsors here on the stream. It's going to roll out at 10 a.m. on February 1st. We've got a bunch of awesome prizes. It's going to be after the next set releases. It's free to enter. The only requirement is you're going to need to be able to share your screen upon request, because we're going to need screen shares in Discord in order to do awesome coverage. You want to make sure that whatever cell phone or computer you're playing Pokemon Pocket from, and you have a stable internet connection, so that way you can give us some sweet matches to cover. So be sure to check that out. I'll drop the link on the YouTube side as well. If you haven't played in a tournament before, it will be a longer day. If you plan on winning the tournament, it'll probably be about 8 to 10 hours start to finish. There'll be 7 rounds of Swiss and then probably 6 or 7 rounds of a top cut, depending on how many players we have. You can find the details there on the Limitless page. Signups are open now. How many slots have filled so far? We have, we currently have 400 registrations towards our 2,000 cap, but speaking from experience with the way free events work is there'll probably be about 50% of the people or so that say they sign up, but then don't actually check in the morning of. Hey, syntax error. Thank you for the 38 months. I appreciate the over 3 years. Welcome back. Okay, if this Pokeball finds us a Hitmonlee, we'll be in a very good spot. Your stars were bad. Thanks for the brand new primer. And this, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, is why when I made my video recommending which decks you should play for the win streak event, I didn't simply just give you a tier list of the best decks in the format. I've seen people recommending this Gyarados deck for this win streak event, and I really think that's not a good choice. I think the odds of you playing a full 5 games and not queuing into someone playing Hitmonlee or Zebstrika or someone having a polarized matchup against you is really low. It's one of, if you look at my decks for the event, I explicitly recommended 6 decks that don't have what I would refer to as a polarized matchup table. They are decks that have pretty even matchup spreads overall. That being said, if we brick on a basic for another turn here, we might get got by an on-curve Greninja. Yikes. The Wake, thank you for the 1.5 years. Welcome back. And Evar, thank you for the half a year. Great, we need a Pidgey next turn, honestly. Pidgey into Pidgeotto would let us Marshadow here and then deal the last 30, which would be nice. Wait, what? Honey. They must have another Frogadier, right? And they're just trying to dodge the Marshadow cleaning this out then? That's what's going on here, yeah? Oh. Oh, I guess no. They get to, oh, they're gonna avoid, they're just gonna full avoid the revenge shot is what happens here now. Because this is actually really clever, because knocking out with a Pokemon ability like Water Shuriken doesn't trigger revenge. So because they had exactly their second Froakie here, they get to maneuver this line. So my Marshadow is not dealing 100 right now. It's only dealing 40. Ivar Luda, thank you for the half a year. And Hilo Jen, thank you for the brand new Prime as well. See, I light this up, it only does 40. I'm just hoping for no Leaf next turn, I think, is the plan. If they have Leaf, they can swap. Oh, you know what? Should I have put the Pidgeotto up? So that way, if they had the Leaf, they clear this. That's so close. Oh, this means no Leaf. This is really good for me. This is Local Man about to get quad Misty-headed. So let's do this, and if I hit the second Hitmonlee, we get to clean the Magikarp. Okay, and then we do this. And then we drive off. It's a shame my second Hitmonlee is buried. There's the Gyarados. Are they stacking energy on it? All right, Misty. Cool. Okay, we get to play a real game, maybe. They're retreating the Greninja. Yep. So I get to either pick up my second knockout here or start marking damage on Gyarados, and in either event, that's good for us, yeah? So let's open on the drive off and see where we go. See what they do. They're through both their Misties at this point. So I'm going to put the extra energy on here. And then we'll put this out here. Just to have it. I think I'm waiting on this last bench slot, because if it's a Hitmonlee, if I draw a Hitmonlee, I still might want to play it out. And I have a knockout point already, so them letting us start marking damage on this Gyarados seems real scuffed for them, yeah? Like, yeah, here's energy. I'll crack you for 70. What's the game plan here, bud? Are they gonna like leaf this Gyarados out back into something else? But then like I have my drive off active here still too. And like a Hitmonlee off the top is threatening the Greninja at any point. Even if they have room for potions in their deck somehow, they're not gonna get this Gyarados into a healthy range. Yeah, they're just gone here. Great. Final boss. Final boss to the Electric Boogaloo. They have first energy advantage, and they're a psychic deck. I have, hold on, I need to PayPal my opponent really quick. Hold please. Easy game. Obviously our deck's cracked. There's nothing to say about it. It's one of the tougher games I've had to play, but we had to sweat for a minute there, and now we are the proud owner of a win streak emblem. So here's a thought I was having as we were playing through this. I felt like we had anybody who's been here since the start of the stream, or even just in general, I guess, what would we think of, instead of posting just our 5-win run that has a little bit of an anticlimactic end here, what if I posted both runs with this deck in the same video, where we show the build up and then getting crushed by a strong draw, and we talk about the variants, and then we run it back? I feel like that would be a good piece of content. I think I'm gonna do that and see what the metrics look like. I feel like it's a good dose of reality. It's a good story, and it helps people, I think, maybe be a little bit less frustrated with it and know that other people are also going to hit those same beats. I'll send these to my editor so we can get working on it really quick. Apologies for the brief break, so we can get that up this afternoon. What do I want to play, gamers? I think this was the only deck I really had in the tank today that I wanted to play. Let me double check. Sometimes Past Chef builds decks and forgets about them. I'll take some viewer submissions. We still need to rack up wins for the rest of it. Yeah, we've played a lot of less of these recently. Let's take a handful of viewer submitted decks. We're gonna be streaming for a couple more hours at least. Got some of those lurking. If you're a subscriber on the Twitch side or a member on the YouTube side, I'm gonna pin a link above the chat where you can send a deck in. Let's say I'll tentatively take 3 viewer submitted decks this morning. I don't want to take them and then not be able to play them. That would be not great. while we're waiting to get a viewer submission, I'm gonna hop on into a game with Blastoise. It's been a minute since we played my boy Blue on stream. I am not doing a tournament today. Some people noticed that the toddler is home. She has a kinder music class on Monday afternoons that I need to take her to, so we only stream for a couple more hours today. And then we'll be back to our full days doing tournament games. Tomorrow is the game plan, but today we got a dad mode this afternoon. Christy usually takes her because she has PTO, but she is otherwise occupied, so a slightly shorter stream this morning. What is PTO? Paid time off. One of those mythical things that some people in the United States still get. We've got our Drudagon lead, which is what we want. Got a Squirtle with a War Turtle here. Misty gets to pump up our little Squirtle jam. Holy. We take those. Hey, Dan, thanks for your deck submission. We'll get to that after this game. Just need Daddy Turtle to round things out. Deal 10, take 20. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Yeah, I was gonna research. There could be merit to like leafing and war turtling them, but we just take for Blastoise here. Finding another Drudagon insulates us against Sabrina, which is nice as well. I don't know if they're playing EX Pokemon necessarily. I guess they could have EX Pidgeot. I'm gonna play this out for now. Put energy on it. Opponent's hand did not come together there. Have we been able to translate your Nostradamus powers through a pocket this morning? Not yet, unfortunately. All right, double dragon as a submission. That literally just means Dragonite plus what's his name at this point, right? Can we do double dragon? I suppose we just use Drudagon as a wall without attacking. That's fine. Yeah, this month's Spiral Abyss was markedly easier than the previous one for me. Of course, I also had Moika and Seat Lolly built ahead of time, which probably helped. I think we play Mew as the last Dorko here. And we'll load our trainers up. Bringing a couple copies of Leaf, Research, Pokeball, a Budding Expeditioner. Be like a potion and an X speed here. We do desperately need a full art professor research. Butterfree, Executor, Tauros, Mew with 1/1/1 on the Butterfree. That sounds reasonable. Thanks for the submission, Mata. We'll take one more viewer submission this morning. We play each viewer deck usually for 30 to 40 minutes. We've got this one and then one more in the tank. Rid of the fire energy here and just go water lightning for our dragon. Open on Mew. I think ideally we want like Dragonite, Druddigon, so I'm not going to play the second Mew out here if I can avoid it, I think. Hitmonlee lead against our Druddigon deck is not exactly the droid we're looking for here. And there's a Farfetch'd as well, so this is the kind of fighting box squeeze, right? Like I can't keep my Dratini on the bench because it gets stretch kicked, and I can't put it in the active slot because Farfetch'd will get it quacked. Our poor lack of psychic energy. Mew with psychic energy is quite good in this matchup. Clears Marshadows and friends pretty quickly. Thorn about to get Quack in here. Then moving this up is nice for us if we can manage to draw a Dratini. And I'll have to switch back to the Hitmonlee. I have Budding Expeditioner queued up here in order to bounce this back to my hand once it takes some damages. Our lack of... what's his name is annoying here. And this is just kind of classic Dragonite things, right? Like, you need your energies to go right, you need to assemble your stage 2, and then you're going to need your Draco Meteor to tie the room together. Our full-on viewer deck submissions for the morning. Shout out to the 3 people that sent them in. Appreciate it. Hey, we're probably too far gone here. Give our opponent the W and move on to the next one. Is it 50 total wins to max the dust rewards for this queue, by the way? That's what it's been in the past, right? Is it 50 again? We've hit the participation hourglasses, so we've played 10. Oh, was it only 15? You're right, this one was shorter, yeah? Is 15 the tippy top? Because the one where you needed 50 was the 45 wins event, and that one was a few weeks, as opposed to like this one's just a week until we lead into the next set, right? A Zeus, thank you for the 19 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Would you like a ranked mode? Absolutely not. I think the current PvP event structure that we have for Pokemon Pocket is a phenomenal alternative to the traditional, very tedious ranked grind we see in these other games. There's a very common misconception among people who fancy themselves competitive players that ranked modes are skill measuring. And for games like Pokemon Pocket or Marvel Snap or Magic Arena or Hearthstone, the ranked ladder systems don't actually measure how good you are at the game. They measure how much you play the game. And the reason for that is in a ranked system that uses a true skill-based matchmaking for MMR to make you go up and down, there hits a point where it's actually beneficial to stop playing because you risk losing more rating than you stand to gain whenever you're playing a game. So the way these systems end up playing out in Pokemon Pocket and other card games is they design the system to heavily reward you for playing more as opposed to being good at the game, because true skill-based systems just encourage, right? It doesn't have anything to do with money. It has to do with true skill-based systems discouraging people actively from playing the game. So spending a lot of development time and resources implementing a system that ultimately makes your people play the game less is just doesn't make sense. So the alternative to that is make it so it's based on how much you play, so that way the system encourages your people to play the game more. I think ultimately what it comes down to is that not everyone, but a lot of the people who ask for ranked modes in games like Pokemon Pocket, what they're actually asking for is more free rewards. And I think these PvP events where you just participate for 10 games and there's a cosmetic if you want to chase it and like be successful, but the ultimate reward for account progression is tied to just participating. I think it's such an elegant way to implement a system where you're like, okay, you're getting something for playing, but also it's not this endless hamster wheel. And I get it. There's some people that they just really enjoy the experience of like watching a number go up, and there's nothing wrong with having fun with that type of system. Just don't confuse that type of system doing what it does with the idea that that system is skill-based. Like, you really need more freebies to enjoy playing. So there's this weird catch-22 with the way people think about games like Pokemon Pocket, where players both simultaneously want to get rewards constantly for playing, but they also want to have everything in the game ASAP without waiting for it. And those two types of things are kind of at odds with each other, right? Like, if you give people everything right away, then they have nothing to grind towards, but also if you don't let them grind constantly, they're like, oh, I want this stuff. And a really common comment about Pokemon Pocket is like, oh, I wish I could get more than 15 XP per win. People basically want to be able to just like sit at their computer 12 hours a day and constantly earn more booster packs just from playing. And that's just like not how even games that have ranked systems like Marvel Snap or Hearthstone or Magic Arena, there's a very finite amount of rewards you get from them. Like, sure, you can watch the arbitrary number go up as you like grind to your heart's content, but ultimately in terms of account progression, like to use Marvel Snap for example, so when I played the most of recently, there's 500 gold for being successful on the ladder at the end, and then that's all you're getting. You're not getting more gold or more credits from playing more. funny. Hitting heads here probably means I'm dead. Means their Mew's just gonna dumpster our Dragonite. And this is... I dump on poor Dragonite a lot. Probably more than he deserves if we're being honest. But the fact that Mew also exists in this game now makes this card even worse than it was last season and already wasn't good last season. When I played the Yu-Gi-Oh program, while there were no unlockables like that, I played every day for hours, so I would theory craft and try new strategies. Sure, but you can do that in Pokemon Pocket, right? A ranked ladder doesn't explicitly mean you can grind or whatever. Hopefully Dragonite EX will be a sweet card. I mean, honestly, Dragonair is a pretty reasonable stage 1. If we get a solid Dragonite EX that evolves from this at some point, it's gonna go hard. Did you wake up today and decide to specifically attack me with all of your comments towards Dragonite? Or Dragonite? Alright, so our shot to win this game is I need Draco Meteor to drop 3 bombs on Mew EX. Short of that, we're probably dead. I'm gonna run the exact numbers and make a video talking about these details once we know what they are. But unless Pokemon Pocket trading is completely inaccessible and you can only trade like 2 EX Pokemon a month, Pokemon Pocket, once trading implements, will easily be the most player-friendly, successful digital card game economy that's ever existed. Like... The way the Pocket economy is currently structured, free-to-play players can get every 3-star and every every 3-diamond and every 4-diamond card without spending any money over the lifespan of a set. And the only downside right now is that you can the only downside is that you could low roll and get a bunch of the same EX or a bunch of the 3-diamond. But if trading is reasonably implemented and lets players smooth out that variance, is a big deal. Surprisingly, our opponent's gonna win the game with our own Draco Meteor. At least someone's won a game with a Draco Meteor today. It certainly isn't us. That's the first time I've seen someone hit 5 points. Yeah, me too, I think. Dragonite confirmed OP. Yeah, I really wish Genshin TCG had its own client too. It's so good. It's just impossible for card gamers to get into because they have to play like 20 hours of Genshin Impact, the RPG, before they can access it. Zoidborg, thanks for the 19 months. Welcome back. We did hit our 5-win streak on stream. We started with a Baby Pidgeot fighting box deck this morning. That highlight will be up this afternoon. Did you see that Genshin devs had some loot box issues? I commented on it on Twitter, but I actually think it's incredibly funny / ironic that Genshin Impact is the game of all games that the FTC decided to fine for their loot box behavior. Because as someone who's played Marvel Snap and Raid Shadow Legends and Marvel Strike Force and almost every other loot box game out there, I actually think Genshin Impact has the easiest and most fair loot box system of basically any gacha RPG I've touched. So they almost assuredly were unfairly and unreasonably singled out because they're just the most profitable in the space. Like they're just smacking them because they make the most money. Yeah. I say that as someone who's been an endgame Raid Shadow Legends player, an endgame Marvel Snap player, is currently an endgame Genshin player. For people who haven't touched Genshin before, there's no PvP whale wars to make you feel social pressure to spend money, and there's no like constant flash deals where they're like, buy this pack, it's 200% value for the next 20 minutes or whatever. Genshin has rotating banners which use fear of missing out after the characters leave for a few weeks, but they don't have constant flash deals and things cost what they cost. Pikachu opponent. All right. Big question this game's going to come down to, do they have their Giovanni on time? If Drudagon buys us 2 turns, it's a big difference than Drudagon buying us only 1 turn. We get a lot more breathing room if this card survives a hit here. How many decks can realistically be tier 0 in a given metagame? So in my opinion, most people throw around the concept of tier 0 too liberally. If you look at my most recent meta tier list for Pokemon Pocket, I actually think in this current format, there aren't any tier 0 decks. In my opinion, when I'm evaluating decks in a metagame, a tier 0 means that there are a lot of decks that are significantly better than everything else, and you don't have meaningful ways to attack them. And Pokemon Pocket's current metagame doesn't fit that description. While Gyarados, Pikachu, and Mewtwo are definitely tier 1 decks that are popular and solid, all 3 of those decks have meaningful ways for you to attack them with Brews and other meta decks in the format. None of them are like head and shoulders above the rest. You're putting yourself at a huge disadvantage if you're not playing them. As someone who's been doing that weekly meta report, which speaking of, we had a new one of those drop yesterday. It's been really sweet. This first set of card packs, Mythical Island plus our first set here, really feels like one of the best balanced set of TCG stuff I've ever touched. I think they've done a phenomenal job of balancing their first set in this game. I'm gonna go ahead and Leaf, and I'm gonna Dragonair, crack this Pikachu for 80, and I'm just gonna hope they don't have second Giovanni. Sometimes these Pikachu decks have 2 of them. A lot of the time they don't. I'm gonna crack this, so that way when we evolve into Dragonite next turn, a single Draco here will pick us up 2 points. Okay, the Zebstrika clears our Mew in the back in one go, so we need to hope this Dragonite clears. Hey, Zubin, glad you enjoy the edited stuff. Appreciate it. Oh. Well, this is a mistake. I think they 100% were supposed to just take this turn and hope that I don't clear them. I would need 2 potions to save this, and they're already at 1 knockout point here, so. Yeah, we'd have lost the game if our opponent took a better line here. This instance of Draco Meteor did not win the game, and then we would have lost to Zebstrika on Mew. I can't find the code to register in the tournament Discord. What am I doing wrong? There is a tournament announcement channel in the Discord server, which is detailed in the tournament sign-up page. So you should make sure you read all of the stuff on the tournament page. There's some rules in there about needing to screen share and other stuff that's important for you to understand. You can make sure you know how to do that before the event. Where's having to read? It is scuff for them. All right, we could still lose this game because Dragonite is Dragonite. We could put 50 here, 100 here, 50 here. I need a knockout, Dragonite. Do your thing, bud. All right, coolio. Sweet. Yeah, Dragonite being able to overshot things is a pretty big downside for him. All right, we're going to take a brief pause for the cause and let some Twitch ads roll. We're going to play a couple more Dragonite when we get back, and then we're going to have a Butterfree Tauros Executor deck when we return. Oh, Desunder, thank you for the tip. I'm glad you hit your 5-1 streak with the Aerodactyl deck. Here's the Dragonite deck we're playing. Thanks for hanging out. Don't go anywhere, gamers. Watching on the YouTube side, consider tapping the like button on the live stream. It's a free little bit of engagement that helps you let my content reach more people. No, only Dragonite energy in here, Grindel. No Tauros in this one. Playing Mew as an extra attacker, because with Budding Expeditioner can help us stall a little bit harder. I would be shocked if they did any live balance for this game. I'm fully expecting if they ever misbalance something, they'll just ban it. But maybe they'll surprise us. Hopefully that just won't even be a consideration for a little while. It's much easier to balance your metagames when they're smaller, so I wouldn't be surprised if our first, 5 or 6 card packs are pretty well set up. You feel playing Pocket has been better for your mental. You seem much more relaxed in the best possible way than when you were full-time snapping. Yeah, I mean, so transparency, Nick, part of the reason I've got the sub goal up here is because I'm enjoying Pokemon Pocket immensely, but this is my job, and I would love this to be my full-time focus, and I'm hoping that we can hit metrics to allow this content to be sustainable for my channel, because I am much happier and enjoy playing Pocket compared to the other games I played in recent memory, like Snap Burnout. Definitely a little bit real. But as the song goes, got bills to pay, got mouths to feed. So if we fall short of this guy to maintain through the end of the month, my plan is we'll go back to splitting 50-50 Pocket and Snap for February, because Snap metrics still tend to be a bit better than Pocket, but I would love to be able to just focus on Pocket, because it is more enjoyable for me personally. Yeah, and I'm gonna give it through the end of the month too, because I think the new set will likely be a symmetrics bump for us too. And as a point of reference for people who are regular hearers or new, even this would be a little bit of a cut down from like what Snap was. Like for reference, my 2 years focusing on Snap, I average about 2,700 concurrent subs, but I'd be pretty happy if we could get to 80% of that while doing Pocket. Yeah, I think there's a chance the tournament will bump metrics too. Sam, LCP, thanks for the half a year. Welcome back. Say hello to my wife, Erica, because she thinks you don't respond and I'm talking to myself. Erica, Sam is here because I'm one of the best at responding to chat. Thanks for letting them hang out. Oh, man, Lumi Neon into our Dratini is scary in a turn or two. Is there a difference between watching the stream on Twitch versus watching on YouTube? It's honestly kind of a wash. Wherever it's more convenient for you to watch, you should watch. As an anecdote, my Twitch stream made better ad revenue for the same stream time in December, but for January, the YouTube revenue for live streams is actually outpacing Twitch on the ad side, so it doesn't seem like one's strictly better or strictly worse than my anecdotal comparison. CN Sniper, thank you for the Prime. What works better for you, YouTube or Twitch subs? From the direct support side, the Twitch side's a little bit better. I technically get the same percentage on each, but the bulk of my support is on the Twitch side, so it just makes it easier to track logistically. I'm gonna X speed the Dratini up to the frontier so we can get attacking, and then this also gets it off my bench, so if they have the Lumineon, they can't crack it next turn. This puts us in a little bit of a scuff spot, though. If they put second energy on Golduck, I need the evolution to not get Aqua Edge. Just a little bit of the squeeze here. Yeah, we got to fade Misty on the Golduck here as well. A little bit of a squeeze regardless, just because they can hit our bench and our active for solid amounts, which is one of the powers of Lumineon for sure. Oh my goodness. Thank you, red card. This wouldn't be possible without you. Hey, Kevin, thanks for the supporter on the YouTube side. Appreciate it. This is just, you know, classic red card gaming. They red carded my 5-card hand and upgraded me because they gave me the cards I needed. And that's really, that part of the discussion about red card really showed me how many people don't have good fundamentals when talking about this game. Because the thing people don't understand when they're trying to talk about red card being card advantage is Pokemon Pocket is not a game where card advantage matters. Having the right cards is more important than having more cards in Pokemon Pocket. So the only reason having more cards is beneficial is it makes you slightly more likely to have the right ones. So in the instance where you're like just right here, right? Like you're getting red card and you're going from 5 or 6 cards down to 3, but the 3 cards are the right ones. Well, I'd rather have that 3 card hand. So it doesn't matter that you got card advantage with red card because I have the right cards now rather than more cards. And that's even before you get into the fact that, like, because the deck sizes are so incredibly small, most of the time you're gonna redraw whatever they red card away. Like even when the red card's in its best possible situation, it's still not working out a lot of the time. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Other than outside tournaments, this game is light on incentives to play it. If you're not into outside client, community-run tournaments, or don't feel ready yet, this is just a collection simulator. I have fond memories of my childhood when the reason I played games was because I had fun playing those games, and Pokemon Pocket has been incredibly refreshing to get back to a video game where the reason I play it is because I want to have fun playing it, and not because that game gave me a chore list that psychologically manipulated me into playing it more. I hope more games become like Pokemon Pocket rather than Pokemon Pocket becoming more like other games. I don't need a 3-hour chore list every day where Pocket tells me I need to retreat my Pokemon 3 times, or I need to attach 6 water energy, or I need to attack for 200 points of damage. It's so refreshing that when I open the Pokemon Pocket client, I just get to be like, oh, if I feel like playing games right now, I can, but if I don't feel like playing games, I'm not being punished for not playing it. The reward is the intrinsic joy attached to it, and if I don't have time or I don't feel like playing for any other reason, I'm not going to get behind from not doing it. It's just part of that, you know, the late stage capitalistic hellscape we all live in, where like people feel like they have to monetize every aspect of their life. So if you're not grinding value while you're playing a game, you're wasting your time. I think is ultimately what it comes down to, right? Like the people who are asking for that type of thing, they just feel like they need to get value from every aspect of what they're doing and just constantly be monetized. Cordova, thank you for the 22 months. And that's you hear that in the phrasing a lot too, and it's especially common among TCG players. You'll hear people talk about, should I invest this money in my card game? And wholly and entirely, any money you put into a game like Marvel Snap or Pokemon Pocket or Fortnite or anything else, you should just assume that the money you're spending is being set on fire and you're never going to see it again. It's not an investment, it's you trading a resource, i.e. money, for entertainment. And if you are not content to have set the money you spent in a game like this on fire, then you shouldn't be spending it. But it's also okay to be like, you know, I've got a $50 entertainment budget for the month, and most of my entertainment came from Pokemon Pocket. I'm going to spend that money on Pokemon Pocket. Type quietly, thank you for the brand new Prime. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. Ooh, 2 out of 3 heads here is tough. We really need a water energy underneath this lightning here. 4 lightnings in a row is tough. Hopefully we don't have a fifth. All right, Coolio. Sabrina. It's unfortunate I don't have another base non-EX bench Pokemon, so now I have to put Dragonite up here and hope that it lives and then hope that it wins the game next turn. Happy Yo, thanks for the Prime, appreciate it. Hey, Crockett, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Investing in my favorite... Wait, did they miss their attack? Oh my goodness. I'm gonna walk away from the computer more often. All 4 tails. I mean, to be fair, our Dragonite just flipped 3 tails, right? Shout out to the person on the YouTube side that said we're gonna deal 200 damage to 1 egg. This is your fault. I hope you're happy. I hit 5 wins on my 3rd try with Starmie Lumineon. Hey, congrats. Glad you're having fun with it. Happy Yo, thank you for the primer. Appreciate it. Hey, another one. Hitting the 5 wins with Starmie Lumineon. Truly, if you're someone who's been struggling to find a deck you love in Pocket, you should make sure you try the Starmie Lumineon deck. It is the most fun I've had playing Pocket, I think, ever. It's so sweet. I like it a lot. Oh, I think we're in trouble, gamers. Drop the Draco. All right, that's it. I'm giving a timeout to the person that said 200 damage to the egg. You're taking a 10-minute break. This is your fault. I need someone to blame. It is certainly you. 10-minute timeout. Why would you put that energy out there? Holy. Hold this lightning rod, Cheddar. Yikes. You know, gamers, some days you are the Pidgey, other days you are the statue. That's just how it be. You got it about it, GG. All right, I think I've got like one more embarrassing Dragonite loss in me, and then we're gonna move on to our next deck. Unlucky, but also having a good time. Do you enjoy the Starmie tempo deck in the regular queue? I find it difficult to feel like chess compared to an open deck list format. Yeah, I think it's fine. You make slightly different plays compared to open deck lists, but usually you know the output range of what people are doing. You just like assume they have Giovanni because most people do. World's strongest Hitmonlee, 200 damage to target bench Pokemon. Volcarona eats your heart out. So if you're missing the promo Jigglypuffs from the Wiggly Eggs deck, this has been a common question because we highlighted that deck a couple of times recently. I think the Wiggly Eggs deck is still super reasonable if you play regular non-promo Jiggly. Ideally, you're never attacking with Jigglypuff in that deck anyways, and the promo Jiggly just like lets you have a 50%er in some of your worst hands. So while it's definitely ideal to have the promo Jiggly, I don't think the deck is like magically unplayable if you happen to have missed it from not being a part of that promo event. The Wiggly Eggs got me the easiest 5-0 of my life. Thanks for the deck. Yeah, if you missed it, gamers, I've got a roundup of the best decks, I think, to get these 5 wins done with. And something explicitly I want to point out about that video is I didn't just tell you what the 5 best decks in the format are. There's 6 decks in it, 6 best decks. One of the things that I think is important when you're picking your decks for this event is that specifically you need to make sure you're not playing a deck that has a super polarized matchup and anything common to maximize your chances. So like, for example, I think Mewtwo is kind of a tough choice because while certainly if you play enough, you can win with it, but like Mewtwo is really bad against Gyarados. And you're probably going to hit Gyarados a lot of the time in one of your 5 games, and it's going to end your streak most of the time when you hit it. So my recommendation video isn't just decks that are good, they're decks that are good that also have a pretty even matchup spread, so you don't just like lose at the loading screen essentially. That's the best way to put it. We'll put another energy here. We'll play Daddy Dragon out, and we'll be ready to go next turn. They'll clear this out. This will be at 90, and the Dragonite can clean it up, hopefully, on average. Gyarados EX Chatot is the best. Deck is absolute trash. Big YouTube clickbait energy. So Dragonite goes down in 1 to Alakazam, unfortunately. I think I'm going to put the other Drudagon up and make them take some rough skin damage here before we put the Dragonite up, because ideally I want this to clear it with 2 Meteors going its way. This could also give me some time to build Mew EX up as a finisher for after this, potentially. The kind of headlining feature for all the decks in my recommended video is these decks have a good or at least even Gyarados matchup. So I think that's the easiest one to be polarized against. Gian Russo, thank you for the 3 months in advance. I appreciate that new direct support helping us hit our sub goal for full-time pocket content. Okay, even if we clear the Alakazam here, it is going to be noteworthy that their Mew EX is ready to go in the back, so it's gonna come down to some Draco Meteor variants here for sure. Okay, I think landing that hit makes us favored on average, but obviously, they could high roll with their Mew here and clean us out. They could also stick the Hypno landing and get the 25%er to sleep us. Yeah, we hit the 100 on the Alakazam that we really needed, though. Them having another big HP thing for the back is tough, too. I think we're incredibly unlikely to win from here. Hey, Winterfell, thank you for the 21 months. Welcome back. Yeah, I mean, giddy up, cowboy. Clench. Everybody clench. We need 100 or 150 here, and then 50s here. Butts are puckered. Unlucky. Alright, we're gonna change our next deck. Dragonite confirmed, still trash. If you're struggling to find the code to join the Hooglandia Open Tournament for Pokemon Pocket, you want to make sure you read all the directions on our tournament page. Let's give that a plug here before we change as well. So registrations are now open for the first Hooglandia Spraggles Open Tournament for Pokemon Pocket. It's going to be taking place on February 1st, which is a Saturday after the next set drops. We've got 2 awesome sponsors, Advanced.gg and Into the AM. We've got 1,500 USD worth of prizing, some cash, and a bunch of stuff from those sponsors that we're going to be giving out to both the top 8 competitors and then some door prizes to people that have 5-2 records. If you want to join this tournament, you can find the link on Limitless, and you're going to want to read the participation requirements and responsibilities, because that tells you how to get the code to join the tournament. So if you are someone who's failing to understand where to get the code from, you're telling on yourself that you didn't read what you need to read. So all the details are in there. One of the things that's important that those requirements detail is that you need to be able to share your screen upon request, because there's no spectator mode in Pokemon Pocket. So in order for Spraggles and I to provide some excellent coverage and commentary, we're going to be calling out feature matches every round. You're going to have to watch for that and be able to go live on Discord upon request. So you want to make sure you have hardware and an internet connection that enables you to do those things. The penalty for failure to screen share upon request is that you will be dropped from the event with no second chances, regardless of your record. So make sure you read and take a chance to make sure you're set up appropriately for that. Did you read the syllabus? Yep. All right, what's our second request? We want Executor EX with Mew and then a Butterfree line. Sounds fun. Hey, girl. Oh, you spilled some of your chocolate milk? Oh, there's a lot? Uh-oh. Okay. That's fine. We're close to an ad break anyways. I'm going to tap that a little bit ahead of time. I'm going to go address some chocolate milk real quick. Thanks for bearing with toddler time this morning, gamers. Here, BRB. Hey, LBB, thanks for the 44 months. Welcome back. A promo butter for you. There she is. And a Mew. Hey, Tara, thank you for the brand new Prime support. Good morning, good morning. I love this Mew in the grass decks. It's just like incognito grass Pokemon. I need one more. I need a baby egg. A baby egg. And then a couple of Ericas and a potion, maybe. Our lovely full art Ericas that we finally have. My Kingdom for default flares. Get rid of the Ralph Wiggum Psychic Energy. Yeah, the Lumineon Starmie deck is a little bit less dependent on Misty than most other water decks. We're going second, but we have egg into egg tree, which is lovely. How will you know if you're supposed to screen share while you're playing in the tournament? There will be an announcement every round inside of the tournament Discord that will tag the players who are expected to screen share. Which is why one of the things detailed in the rules is you're not supposed to start your round until after feature matches are tagged for the round. Why is it a Ralph Wiggum Psychic Energy? Because the deck editor thinks it's helping, much like Ralph. My plan, Charlie, is if we can maintain a sustainable amount of Twitch subs doing just Pocket content, my focus will be just Pocket moving forward. So we'll see. It's the first day with the goal up. I think my plan is to see where we end up at after the new set and then make a decision beginning of February what we'll do for February. But January is going to be all Pocket here for sure. And regardless, I'll be doing some Pocket still. It'll just be split with Snap if we need it for metrics. Big egg tree up front, Erica in hand. Notable breakpoint here is that Erica gives us 210. Although I suppose with the 30 from Haunter this turn, that's potentially scary. Oh, we can't Erica though while the Gengar's up, yeah? That's awkward. Oh, and they get to attack this turn? Holy, 2 stage 2s, I think we're done. Hey, Alex, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. I appreciate that generosity. Probably dead, gamers. Two stage 2s is tough to stack into simultaneously. I suppose there's a world where I draw the other egg tree and then we hit running heads here and we have a shot, but that also falls apart to a Sabrina. We need to hit one of our 2 copies of Executor, which is about a 20% chance to happen here. 2 out of 9, a little bit better than 20%. Yeah, Gengar being 160 or 170 is really good against Egg Boy. Can't hit double heads on it. And can't Erica because of the text box either. Gengar's one of those cards that, like, it's really solid when you have it ASAP, especially when you have a Gardevoir ASAP as well to let you get energy on it ahead of curve, but just the inconsistency from being a stage 2 means that overall it just doesn't perform well in tournaments. We're going first, and we've got an egg and an egg tree. It's exactly what you're looking for here. Turning off supporters is strong. It's solid. It's definitely better in a post-leaf world. It's worth noting that a lot of the better decks don't really need supporters, though. One of the big kind of struggles with Gengar is that, like, 170 gets cleared in 290-point hits, so things like Starmie and Pikachu run it down quite cleanly. Does anyone know when we'll get the new expansion? I'm really excited. So data mines say the new expansion will drop the 28th into the 29th. And they were right on the last one, but no official announcement as of yet. $180 still goes down in 2 hits. Sure. A lot of the 180 stage 2s also aren't particularly great. Yeah, coverage for the Hooglandia tournament will be done via Discord screen shares. In fact, you won't be able to just broadcast on Twitch. People are allowed to broadcast on Twitch or YouTube or whatever, but they're still going to be expected to be in the Discord upon request. Why do you think the deck that won the last tournament was running the other eggplant? Mythical Island Executor is a very reasonable card when you're playing Superior, because you can attack with it for 2 energy. It's just not very good when you have to invest a full 4 into it. But when it costs half as much, it's fine. Right? That's not another basic, but I got our Egg Boy lined up here, and the tap for 20 means that a heads clears this next turn. It's very unlikely that they heal Delmise at 80. If they have a potion, they might. Be a heads up play on their part. There's another basic, which is lovely. Gives us a place to attach the second energy to. Caterpie is a little less exciting than some of the alternatives here. Basically, every time we've played Butterfree in a deck to date, it's just kind of felt extra and not very good. We'll see if today ends up being any different. If this had been like a Tauros or a Mew, we would be in a better spot here. They have Superior here, we're going to be in trouble. Hey, McBooty Pirate. Thanks for the 5 gifted subs, helping move us towards our sub goal. Appreciate that support. All right, a heads here. Means that they need to have Erica. They're threatened to clear to another heads. The Celebi superior deck is too good. Ah, yes. Opponent happened to have a good draw where their stage 2 came out on curve, and the average Twitch chatter thinks it's too good. You should check out the meta report this week where we talk about trends among the top performing decks, and you'll see we highlight that the Celebi deck is pretty average. It's like not bad, but it's also like not standout good either. It's a perfectly playable, reasonable deck that has about average / acceptable conversion rates. In large part because sometimes it does this. To be fair, we were likely to live there regardless, and they're still likely to knock us out this turn, so like, the way the breakpoints end up here probably doesn't matter. The Ericas are going to matter more than these coins. They need to low roll another turn here and only hit 2 out of 6. Well, it's funny to see them hit 4 tails there. It probably doesn't matter in the way things wash out. Yeah. 4 tails. 4 tails is the same as 2 heads last turn. Alright, I need a top deck Executor to live through their Ericas here. Alright, and now we hope for the incredible low roll this turn. Too many Ericas, too little time. If this had been a copy of Mew or a copy of Tauros, we would have won the game this turn, yeah? Because we're doing something kind of cute here. Don't you think Celebi is an S tier deck? I don't think there's any S tier decks in our current metagame. I think based on the current performance metrics we have in tournaments among the most popular decks, none of them stand out enough to be S tier. Have we gotten 5 game wins in a row? Yes, we got our win streak done with Baby Pidgeot Hitmonlee. We'll have a highlight with that up on the Hooglandia Pocket channel this afternoon once we're done live streaming this morning. Why do you think Mewtwo is the most represented deck in the format? I think Mewtwo is common because Mewtwo is a fan favorite Pokemon. And Mewtwo is also really straightforward to play. I think decks like Mewtwo and Gyarados tend to be really popular because their play patterns are pretty easy to execute on average. And that's not to say that there's no skill in them, but I think it's easier to play the Mewtwo or Gyarados deck well than it is to play like the Pikachu deck well. In fact, I would go so far as to say the Pikachu deck is probably really underplayed in large part due to the fact that it's tough to play for a lot of people. It's a shame that I don't have my big Executor, but we'll evolve to the baby and get cracking here, I think. Erica plus Potion in hand here means that my Executor can live back-to-back 90-point hits from this, which is nice. Missing on the first heads here is sad. Looking forward to the Hoglandia tournament. Will this be your first time hosting an event? It'll be my first time hosting an event since I ran Magic the Gathering. So back when Magic the Gathering was my primary focus, I ran almost monthly tournament series for the game. So I have plenty of experience running events before. My wife's been a TO for them. Our first venture into Pocket, but done that a lot in the past and run coverage and then commentary type stuff. Oh, they don't have what's it called here is good for us. We might actually evolve to this Butterfree on curve here, so I'm gonna put energy here. Nice, that heads is slick. It means even if they have a potion, we can flip heads to clear it next turn, and we can clear it with the tails, which encourages them to bail out. Were you doing full-time with Snap? Yes, so my metrics under Snap were some of the strongest my channel has ever had. I averaged about 2,700 concurrent subscribers on Twitch during the 2 years I focused on Snap as my primary content. So Pocket's been a bit of a step down from that, but I'm enjoying playing Pocket immensely, so if we can rustle up support for the Pocket content, I would love for it to be my focus on the channel. I mean, the opponent's red card did take away my Metapod. How different are your approaches to deck building and tournaments when you know the opponent's deck versus a deck for random queue? Basically not different at all. You should build and play good decks for both. You highlighted Electabuzz DDN in your meta roundup rather than the Galvantula build. Any additional thoughts on that? No. There just isn't a strong... There isn't enough data on the Galvantula build to say it's deterministically the better build of Pikachu. Nice. Solid heads here. Yeah, Spraggles and I did commentary together for Pokemon Unite in the past. He is a part of the Pokemon Unite Championship Series tournaments, and I was a part of the Championship Series first official year before I stopped playing Unite. Mewtwo is the best type of deck for this type of event because it's incredibly consistent. I actually completely disagree with that. I think one, you can get your 5 wins with almost anything. There's a lot of variance involved. But 2, if your goal is to give yourself the best possible chance in the 5 wins event, you explicitly should not be playing a deck like Mewtwo that has a polarized matchup against it. Mewtwo loses to Gyarados most of the time, and queuing up with a deck that's going to lose to Gyarados most of the time is a good way to hit matchup variance during your run. So, obviously you could just get lucky and dodge Gyarados, but you can get lucky with anything. So like I talked about in my best decks for the Emblem event today video, I provided 6 decks that I don't think are 30% matchup at the loading screen against anything. See, I actually disagree that Gyarados is a good deck for the event too. That doesn't mean that people won't play it, but your odds of loading up Gyarados and playing against Zero, Zebstrika, Hitmonlee, Lumineon is all really low. So, again, Gyarados and Mewtwo are good decks that put up lots of results in tournaments, but if your goal specifically is to high roll, like you have to at a 5-win streak event, playing a deck that's going to basically lose at the loading screen because of deck selection is, generally speaking, not a good choice. Any tips for people who would like to start streaming? You should just start streaming because you enjoy it, but you definitely shouldn't expect to make money at it or even have anybody watch you to start. You should make content because the idea of making content sounds enjoyable to you, and then if the metrics come afterwards, it should be a bonus, not the goal. Speaking of Mewtwo, we have first energy advantage here, and we get to start charging this up. Do I charge it up right away? I have the Metapod in hand. Maybe I get the Caterpie going actually, and try and draw an egg here. Find a friend. Is not the baby egg I wanted for Christmas. I think discussing the semantics of which deck is less bad to get 5 wins with isn't really a conducive, useful thing to do, Keith. Got me. Joke's on you, I didn't want to leave Caterpie in the active spot anyways, because of Psysphere. We've got 2 Pokeballs, 2 Executes, and 2 Research. So like 6-ish cards that get us to our basic for this would be ideal. Mewtwo has a bad matchup against any deck running Mew EX. I think that's pretty reductionist. I think bad Mewtwo players have a bad matchup into Mew EX, but if the Mewtwo deck was simply hard countered by this card existing in your deck, it wouldn't be a top deck that's still good. Hey Colts, thank you for the 18 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. And the Abiding Dude, thanks for the almost 2 years. Any card effects in the upcoming set you would like to see added off the top of your head? I'd really just like to see them expand on the colors that are underdeveloped. So I expect we'll get EX Steel and EX Dark Pokemon. I think is the only like big mechanical thing I really want to see. Morning, Jeremy. Do people run blue to mitigate Mew side drive? Yeah, I think the best builds of Mewtwo are playing 1 blue. If you look at the deck roundups, like the meta report I do this week, every week, the last 2 or 3 weeks, the better Mewtwo decks have had that in it. All right, we put the second energy on here, and then we're threatening to clear them if they don't have blue next turn. Dabba-dee-dabba-die. Dabba-dee-dabba-die, dabba-dee-dabba-die, Would you be interested in seeing discard cards in this game? I hope not. I think those types of mechanics tend to be pretty unfun. So I think the game plan here is we'll retreat this Mew by discarding an energy, so that way I can potentially save the leaf to do this. And then Professor's Research gives me even more incentive to do that, so that way I can draw some cards this turn. And then even with Gardevoir, there are at least 2 turns off of this happening, so we have time to build the Mew back up here, which is nice. Don't discard cards already exist. Yeah, they're pretty sparing though. Like having Persian's effect on a more playable, commonly used card would be pretty sour. I'd love a way to search Stage 1 and Stage 2 Pokemon. So that's a request that happens a lot. And while I hope they find a way to add consistency to like Stage 2 attackers like Blastoise or Machamp, I think they need to be incredibly careful about how they add that consistency to the game. Because it would be very easy for them to add a way to make Stage 1 and Stage 2s more consistent while making this card be incredibly overpowered, yes? A lot of people, when they talk about making Stage 1 and Stage 2s more consistent, they're just thinking about the cards that are actively bad, and they're not realizing that, like, because this deck is called Mewtwo, it's still a big Stage 2 deck. Yeah, Greninja is another good one to call out. That like if you had like Greninja on curve most of your games, like that's an incredibly powerful and oppressive thing to be doing. Yeah. I would be surprised and a little disappointed if their first way they add Stage 1 and Stage 2 consistency to the game impacted absolutely everyone. I would expect them to add like some more type restricted or particular Pokemon restricted ways to make those Stage 2s more consistent, would be my expectation. There's a lot of ways they could do that. They could make it so it's only more consistent for your active Pokemon. They could make it so they can make it only more consistent for your active Pokemon. They could make it so it only finds like EX Stage 2s. A lot of clean ways to implement it. I think their design team has enough space that we'll probably see something pretty clean. Oh, another Tails here is brutal. I've played competitive video games before. This is my first card game. The variance elements have been frustrating to me. How do you deal with this? You need to focus on the things you can do differently over the course of your games. In a card game, there's always going to be some reason you lost the game other than you made a mistake. And if you're someone that wants that cop-out and doesn't want to get better, you're going to always be able to find it. So if your goal is to get better and be successful at a game that has variance by design, you need to be willing to look for the spots where you could have actually made better decisions. You also need to acknowledge that there are going to be some games that you just don't win, but there's going to be plenty where you could have made better choices. That's not really like exclusive to a game like Pokemon Pocket either. Like take League of Legends or Marvel Rivals or Pokemon Unite, for example, right? Like there's variance in those games, it's just the variance is your teammates instead of the cards. Alright, is Butterfree gonna do a thing, gamers? Assuredly Butterfree does a thing. Heal everybody. Then I get to go ahead and Erica here, so that way Mewtwo can't clear me unless they have Giovanni. Finally hit a heads, that's great. And if they Giovanni to clear this, they can't blue to survive this. So that heads there probably means we're good to go. How do you cope with losing 2 games in a row to getting high rolled by Misty into Articuno? Those 2 games that you got high rolled by Misty Articuno probably took like 3 or 4 minutes of your life. Just go to the next game. Just go next, my dear gamer. The short, speaking of that variance allocation too, like, the length of Pokemon Pocket games being so short is another thing that makes it easier to shrug off the variance, right? Like, especially when you're playing Hero, the random queues, like, even when I get to the end, like, I'm 4-0 and I hit a bad beat and I lose my 5th in the streak, like, playing 5 games of Pokemon Pocket was probably less than 30 minutes a lot of the time, right? In fact, a lot of the time it's like less than 20 minutes even. So even that being a big investment is, like, not that large. My Butterfree just goes 1-to-1 here against the Mew. It's funny. First heads here is great. Means the second heads threatens to win the game next turn. That's true too, yeah. If they don't have a potion, the Butterfree Gust is guaranteed clear next turn. Alright, they have the potion. Two potions. I might be retreating next turn anyways. I guess I lose to blue if I retreat next turn. I think with the potion, we're actually just chilling for now. I think we do this. We do potion, we do Butterfree. I just want to keep this healthy so the Mewtwo needs a Giovanni to hit it. Because if they have to Giovanni, they can't blue. I have not played Arbok Pidgeot with Mythical Island, no. It doesn't really accomplish anything at this point. Hey Jeff, thanks for bringing the Starmie EX deck to my attention. Playing with 2 Retreat Zero Mons feels like it's super satisfying, the gameplay patterns. This has been quite a match of Pokemon Pocket here. The slog has been real. Thanks for the 2 years, Eevee. More than that, welcome back. You need a Starmie EX deck, you should check out the roundup today on the Hooglandia Pocket channel. It's in my recommendations for the special event video, and it's also been something I highlighted with some tournament success. Okay, so I'm gonna retreat this out so that way it doesn't die to Mewtwo. And we'll tap this healing, and then next turn this is back to 160, so it still doesn't die to Mewtwo. Butterfree actually getting to flex its wings a little bit here in this set is fun. I assume they don't have another Budding Expeditioner here. I would not be surprised if they have a Giovanni. Sometimes they have second Sabrina in their deck as well. I'm a little surprised we haven't seen them power up the Gardevoir yet. We're gonna finally clear the egg. Are we done? We're done, gamers. Hold on to our copy of Leaf for this exact moment. Mew's just been chilling on the bench, ready and waiting to shuffle in. Hack of the genome. The genomes have been hacked. Lovely. About time. That was quite the slog. All right, I need to take a brief pause to let some adverts roll. I'm gonna run upstairs and grab a caffeine too, because I'm dragging a little bit this morning. Thanks for hanging out, gamers. Don't go anywhere. We're gonna play some more of this one when we get back. Butterfree looked kind of slick there in that grindy game. If you're watching on the YouTube side, consider tapping the like button on a live stream. It's a free little bit of engagement that helps spread the content around on that platform. You can have an advert as well, BRB. Naji, thank you for the 19 months. Welcome back. Horo, thank you for the third of a year. Appreciate you dropping that primer off again. Hope you go pocket full time. Thank you to you and the other folks that have been supporting so I can chase what I'm enjoying chasing here. If you're someone that enjoys watching on the regular and you'd like to help make Pocket the full-time content focus of my channel here, consider subscribing. Would love for this content to be a sustainable part of what I do. I've been enjoying doing it 5 days a week. Would love to continue that going into next month as well. Egg into baby egg, lovely. Would love to draw an EX here, but we at least have the baby for the short term. Moltres a little scary. We really need to hit EX Egg to be able to crunch through this. Although I suppose the Sabrina with this might be able to cheese them. That's a good fallback plan too. Okay, I feel like we're in an okay spot here. Potentially. We'll see how their first turn plays out. I'm kind of salty. I forgot I had Amazon Prime bundled in my ISP contract. So I've been squandering my share of Bezo bucks. That's true. If you got that Amazon Prime sub, it gives me real dollar dues every single month. Appreciate the folks that drop those off. Jeffrey Bezos has enough dollar dues. Might as well send a couple my way or someone else here on Twitch. Ooh, unlucky. I wonder about the consumable required to trade and how much it'll cost to trade. My bet is that they're going to implement another hourglass style system like we have for Wonder Picks for trading. And that how many of that it costs will depend on the rarity of the card. So like it'll be more resources to trade an EX than a 3 diamond, than a 2 diamond, than a 1 diamond, etc. would be my expectation. We have Caterpie. We have Mew EX building up here. So we are going to get to a position where they can't just like ram Charizard up front because of Mew, which is nice. Does anyone else have a weird feeling that it matches you based on your deck? That's one of the many examples in card games what we have called negativity bias, where it's very memorable and feels bad to match into a matchup that's bad for you. So it's easier to think about those games and forget about the ones where you had average variance rather than vice versa. Why do you include non-EX Executor? Are you watching the game I'm currently playing? This game's a good example of why there's non-EX Executor in this deck. EX Executor is generally better, but you're not always going to have your EX Executor. If I hadn't had a third Executor as a baby one here, I wouldn't have been able to get attacking this game. Are we past the point of expecting Snap to fix their economy and be a fixture on the channel? I think if Snap is going to fix their economy, it's not happening for another month or two at a minimum. And I'd prefer to be able to try and follow the game that I'm enjoying. And if the numbers are there for that, I'm going to do that. I am past enjoying Pocket's gameplay more than Snap. It's more enjoyable to play a game where half the comments on every one of my videos aren't just the community complaining they can't build the decks I'm showcasing. Like I'll post a deck roundup for Marvel Snap, and half the comments will be people complaining they can't build the decks that I'm showing. Like, whereas Pocket, that just doesn't happen because people can actually have cards to play this game. So, if they evolve into Ninetales, they are dead to Leaf Mew. Hey, TJ, thanks for the 10 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. That's forever away from being able to attack, so they're cleared out to a heads next turn, but they're also dead to Leaf into Mew. Opponents between a Executor and a hard place here for sure. I'm unfamiliar with the current Snap. Is it heavy? Pay to play for the current meta. So, Snap's economy just has core structural issues that lead to you can't even fix the problem with money. The best way I could describe the issue with Marvel Snap's economy is, let's say you're a brand new Marvel Snap player starting today and you liked a deck a streamer was playing. You couldn't even spend hundreds of dollars to buy the deck that you see on their screen. Because the way their economy works, you can't even spend money to get the cards. It just like literally takes you months to get cards to play with. And you can't reasonably, even if you spent the most money you could spend possible, like thousands of dollars, it would probably take you a week or two to get every card in the game still. And it wouldn't be cheap. It would cost an astronomical amount of money and it still wouldn't be instantaneous. And if you're spending a more reasonable amount of money, you still don't get there for a long while. It's not even just about the dollar amount, although that's also kind of a problem. It's about the structural stuff around it. And that's something I've talked about. Something I've talked about with Pocket is, and this is why trading's going to be so important for it, is as Pocket grows and adds more sets, it has the potential for that to be painful too, right? So trading is going to be a really instrumental and important part of Pocket's economy. So that way, when, you know, we have 1,000 cards in this game later this year, it's still feasible for people coming in to be able to build decks with cards they actually want to play with. One of the things you can definitely expect to find on my YouTube channel shortly after we get the trading details is I'm going to sit down and run the numbers and talk about, okay, this is what the Pokemon Pocket economy looks like in the longer term with its current set release pacing for free-to-play players, for spending players, etc. And does trading help with that, or is it potentially problematic? If trading is implemented remotely reasonably, Pocket is setting itself up to have the most player-friendly economy of any successful digital card game ever. But that, if it's reasonable there, is doing a little bit of heavy lifting in that statement. How would you define reasonable? Reasonable means you have to be able to trade enough EX and 3 diamond rarity cards for free per month to be able to smooth out bad variants. Runeterra was extremely player friendly too. Yeah, you'll notice I said successful digital card game. Runeterra was not a successful digital card game. Or to be numbers focused, Runeterra made $25 million in its first 2.5 years. Pokemon Pocket made $25 million in less than its first week. They are just magnitudes different. Runeterra does always get brought up in this conversation because there are a lot of folks who like Pokemon Pocket is the most successful digital card game in terms of revenue to release since Hearthstone, and by the end of this first year, it'll probably be bigger than what Hearthstone was in terms of money earned. To give some other comparable stats, Marvel Snap was the most successful card game in terms of revenue to release in a long time, and it made $170 million in its first year. Pokemon Pocket made over $300 million in the the last quarter last year after it released. So in 3 months, Pocket out-earned Marvel Snap's first 2 years, and Marvel Snap did really well in the card game space as a comparison. For anybody that's new to the channel, if you're not familiar with me, I've been streaming for a long time. I've played a lot of Magic and Hearthstone and Marvel Snap and lots of others. And by a long time, I mean like over a decade. So I've been in this space for a while. And I also have a graduate degree and undergraduate degree in mathematics. I spent time teaching at the high school and college level. I spent time doing data analytics for a Fortune 50 company for a little while after grad school. So I try to make a point to be informed on the things that I'm talking about here. When do you think the trailer for the new expansion will drop? My money's on Friday for the new trailer. That would align with what they did for the previous one. Probably dead if they have a Giovanni here, but because I don't have an EX Executor, I need to put Mew up here. If we draw the EX Executor, we can switch back to this, which would be ideal. Yeah, unlucky that our big eggs are buried. When Pokemon starts sponsoring in-person tournaments with prizes, the game will blow up further. I actually think, in general, players drastically overstate how important competitive stuff is. I think it would be sweet if there were officially sponsored Pokemon Pocket tournaments, but I don't really expect it to make the game blow up a ton more. It would be good and fun for like really invested players, but overall, the casual scene is what drives these games. Oh, my thanks button didn't stick. Sorry, opponent. People always overstate the things they're interested in. Yeah, for sure. Have you played regular Pokemon TCG at all? Yeah, a number of years back, I played some of their game competitively, and I streamed a good bit of the Pokemon client that existed before TCG Live, but there just aren't really sustainable content metrics for that. The numbers aren't very good. The reason Pocket is popular is that it allows people to not play. I agree with that. I think the fact that Pokemon Pocket offers a casual avenue where you only play if you want to is a big deal. And I think that that'll likely be a part of its success in the long term. The number one thing that causes people to put down games like Marvel Snap and Magic Arena and Hearthstone and not come back is all live service games eventually hit a bad meta game or something in your life happens and you can't keep up. And once someone stops playing a live service game, they get out of it. They very rarely pick it back up again. So the fact that Pocket, when you need to go into maintenance mode and just open your 2 packs a day to get your rewards, is still reasonable, is a really big deal. Being able to be like, oh, I can, I'm gonna Sabrina them here, actually. I can keep up without getting behind in just a minute or two a day is a really, really important. Where am I getting these stats and numbers from? There are a number of websites that track App Store revenue. It's public facing on Android and others. And there's other sites that aggregate it all together. I have to spend hundreds to get back into Magic Arena despite playing Magic daily for 10 years, and I'm just not going to do that. Yep, you are far from alone in that. I doubt this will stay that way, though. Don't you think it would be a bad business model not to milk it more over time? Nope. You're right that a lot of other games tend to add more chores to their game over time, but I think that that's not good for them. I hope Pocket bucks that trend. I think Pocket has the least amount of chores to start, and I would be surprised if they drastically change their model to add more long term. What TCG have you enjoyed the most out of all the ones that you played? I mean, I think that bit I just said a moment ago about... I think the bit that I said a moment ago about all live service games having ups and downs is accurate. So, like, I could point out particular Marvel Snap formats that I really enjoyed or Magic the Gathering formats that I really enjoyed, but, like, I played all of those card games long enough that, like, they all had a bunch of miserable formats that I really didn't like at various points either. Where are the numbers coming from? The numbers are coming from the app stores. So the Google Play Store has public-facing numbers that a number of sites aggregate and put together for sales in different geo regions. I'm new to TCGs, and I keep hearing the term breakpoint. What does that mean? So, this, what a picture-perfect moment to talk about a breakpoint. So, Giovanni is a powerful card because in this instance, it helped my opponent hit a breakpoint. A breakpoint refers to how your damage lines up into your opponent's HP. So in this instance, the Giovanni let them hit the breakpoint of dealing 50 with one attack in tandem with the poison, which let them knock out my execute and clear it. A good example that happens a lot in the format is 120 damage attackers like to play Giovanni because 130 in one shot is an important breakpoint. 130 HP is Mew EX, Celebi EX, Zapdos EX, Starmie, stuff like that. So when you heard of people talk about a breakpoint, it's generally speaking how many turns do I need to deal damage in order to clear something. And some of it is a single turn breakpoint, but some of it can be multiple turn breakpoints too. So like Wheezing, for example, effectively deals 50 per turn cycle with its attack, right? It does 30 and then 10 poison, 10 poison. So Wheezing's breakpoint is that it clears a Drudagon in 2 attacks over 2 turns. Flanders the Warlock, thank you for that brand new Prime sub. I appreciate that. Someone asked a little bit ago if I was taking more viewer decks today. I am not. I have to, my toddler goes to kinder music on Monday afternoons. And normally my wife takes her over, but she is not available this afternoon. So I'm taking the toddler to her music class. So we're only going to be live today for another half hour or so. And we'll do nice full days the rest of the week, but we're going to do dad duty today. Water stiff. Leading Caterpie might be wrong. We'll see. Against Drudagon, it sounds excellent. Thank you. Brett Thunder, thank you for the brand new primer as well. Appreciate it. Good afternoon. Breakpoints can be useful to think about in the inverse too when it comes to talking about hit points. And Erica is a good example of a card that impacts breakpoints with healing. So an important Erica breakpoint differential is Baby Executor versus EX Executor. So EX Executor has 160 HP, which means in tandem with an Erica, EX Executor lives through two 90-point hits because 160 plus 50 is 210. Whereas Baby Executor only has 130 HP to start, which means Baby Executor plus an Erica is only 180, so you still go down in 2. Been loving your content recently. Your insight and analysis are some of the best I've seen from Pokemon Pocket content creators. Thanks, Trey. Appreciate the compliment. Good to have you here. I'd definitely say, as far as analytical content in the space goes, I'm one of the best when it comes to making that. My math background and competitive TCG experience shine through really nicely. What's the best parenting tip you can give? Oh, it's pretty vague. How old's the child? They differ so much as they scale. You is very good against Dragonite. I think I'm just going to continue to find friends here, though. Evening Slacker. There's an EX egg to get smashing with next turn. Tip for a toddler: from the age where they can roll over and crawl until they are like 4 or 5 and can be reasoned with, your toddler is essentially a tiny suicide machine, and your job as a parent is to make sure that they fail. Put your gates up, put your outlet covers on, make sure your cabinet doors are locked. Noted. Keep child alive. Yep. Speaking of toddlers, there's my favorite toddler. We got about 20 minutes until we go to music class, okay?
Daddy.
Yes, Haley.
I want to ask.
What do you want to ask?
Roller skates, you don't have to put 1 foot down because they come in 2 pairs.
They do come in 2 pairs. Would you like to get roller skates this summer?
Yeah, but make sure it has 2 wheels on each foot rail roller skates, okay?
Okay.
2 wheels, not in the middle, okay?
Okay, not in the middle. That's a good idea.
How would we get Bluttlestones?
Yeah, I think all of us could get some roller skates or rollerblades this summer. That would be fun.
The grown-ups get and Bluttles get ones that free roller skates in the middle, but only I have 2 on the side of each skate, okay?
Yeah.
Because I'm little.
Okay, that's a good plan.
I know how to get roller skates on, I think.
I think you could do the blades though. You ice skate, and roller blades are just a lot like ice skates.
So roller skates are just like skating. So you just have to push your foot.
Yep, that's exactly like that.
But I won't fall because mine's gonna be too good.
Okay. What's your idea? Oh, we should get mommy roller skates too? Okay.
And do you know how to roller skate anyway?
I do know how to roller skate, yeah. I think that would be fun.
We only have one skateboard and bikes.
Yep.
That's why the whole family should get roller skates.
Yeah, we'll have to add roller skates to the garage, you're right.
I like the roller skates the best.
Yep.
Because I just have to push. Wait, I got an idea. Just roller skate off.
We could roller skate to the park.
Yeah, roller skate to the park.
That sounds like fun.
But the whole family, okay?
Okay.
None of the family have to walk.
Uh-oh. I think our opponent DC gamers.
But first we need to teach brothers and mom.
Oh, I messed up. I could have had Butterfree here last term.
Can I teach brothers and mommy how to roller skate?
You want to teach brothers and mommy? I think that would be fine.
Only you have to push your foot to move.
Okay.
That's the only thing, okay?
Okay.
You know that's only supposed to push your foot.
Okay.
It didn't work, but that's okay. Let's try another way. So, I'm teach brothers and mommy, but can't teach.
That's a good plan. I like it.
And then, after we teach them, we could all roller skate to the park.
So I think we're gonna potion the Executor here, and then the Butterfree puts it up to 160, so that way it survives a triple hitter from the Dragonite.
Do you know how you walk on roller skates? You have to launch.
Yeah.
That's how I would do it.
Okay. Why don't you go finish your art before it's time to go to music class?
Okay.
Thank you for telling me about the roller skates, okay?
Wait. When we get home, trying to get roller skates for horse and brothers and you and me, so but I'll ask her that.
Yes, you can ask.
Skates.
You can ask mommy for those. Yep.
For the horse and like so brothers and horse, so I can teach. Okay.
Okay.
Only I get to teach them.
Okay.
So, we'll all, so Daddy, so I'm gonna tell brothers and mommy to stay back until I teach them to push their foot, okay?
Okay.
Unless they don't know how to walk.
Good idea, Haley.
But I do. And I'm gonna show them and Daddy. Did you know you always have to wear elbow pads and knee pads to keep you safe in case you fall on your elbows or legs.
Good play.
So we have
Okay.
to use
Can you
those
go do your art, please? Can you tell me all more about roller skates later? You were very thorough, though. Holy cats, thanks for the 27 months. Someone asked for a parenting tipper. This isn't a tip so much as an observed fact. Once they start talking, they don't stop. If she didn't have to catch her breath in between, she wouldn't. Oh, yeah. Fun fact, that Mew EX dropping a Draco Meteor there, I think, is more game-winning Draco Meteors than we had all set when we tried to play Dragonite earlier. Average Dragonite gameplay. Opponents set their Dragonite up, we put our Mew up, and it won the game with their Dragonite attack. For folks who are new here, that's my youngest. My wife and I have three little ones. They are 9, 10, and 4. It's Martin Luther King MLK Day here in the United States. I've got some of the kiddos off at school. Lauren Smith, thank you for the almost 6 years. Welcome back. Now that 69 months is in my rear view mirror, it feels like a desert of cool numbers until 100. Well, hopefully we'll see you there in a little bit. I plan to be here. Thanks for keeping me around. Twitch channel is older than some of the kids. That 71-month subscription is older than Haley, actually. Yeah, my older two are actually set to do remote learning tomorrow as well, because the temperature when they would be coming home on the bus tomorrow afternoon is set to be like negative 23 degrees, which is too cold for the kids to be out. So they'll do some e-learning and a whole lot of video games tomorrow. Is that normal for your area? Yeah, it's not uncommon to get a couple of real cold days here in the center of the United States. Never lol. Thank you for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Working our way up towards our goal. We're under 1900 when we started this morning. Was negative 50 in Quebec this morning. Asymptomatic Ape, thank you for the 7 months. Welcome back. I think Snap getting caught in the crossfire of the TikTok legislation is super unfortunate for them. Ben Brode had even posted that they inquired and they were told they weren't going to be impacted by it, so the fact that they were completely caught with their pants down really sucks for them. Echoplex, thanks for the almost 3 years. Welcome back. It definitely comes at a super inopportune time for Snap in general, because I think player sentiment surrounding Snap is already kind of at an all-time low. I'm gonna bail out here. We already got our 5 wins rather than waiting for this opponent to disconnect. Yeah, so for people that weren't following news over the weekend, ByteDance pulled all of the apps they publish in the United States, not just TikTok. And TikTok is actually back up, but Snap isn't as of yet in the US. They're supposed to be back up later today. Yeah, it's a tough time for Snap to have a hiccup like that happen. For people who aren't familiar, what's it called? For people who aren't familiar, Snap is made by an indie studio named Second Dinner, but smaller studios have publishing companies, and publishing companies handle things like logistics around advertising and helping them get on app stores and Steam and stuff like that. So, Snap's actual publishing company is Newverse, whose parent company is ByteDance. Yeah, there's a difference between a publisher and a parent company. So Second Dinner is an independent indie studio, and Snap is their first game. But it's very common for indies especially to have a publishing company. Do gift subs count towards the sub goal? They do, yeah. I think it really shows how little people understand the games and the economies around their games to hear people talking about why would I put money into a game like Snap again when it could disappear in an instant, when like that's true of all of these games, right? There were a lot of people that were super unreasonable. They're like, well, why didn't Second Dinner tell us that this could have been a thing that happened? And it's like, well, do you think every game made by Riot Games and Tencent that's backed by Tencent should be telling people their games could be taken down? Because Tencent was recently classified as a military company out of China by the United States government. So like, you know, if they wanted to pass legislation, they could do that for that company too. I don't know. At the risk of getting on a Riot Games poop list, I think it's worth pointing out that if you're going to classify something like Tencent as a hostile military company, that Riot Games has kernel level access to all of the PCs its anti-cheat is on. So from a security / exploitation perspective, that seems like a lot more of a risk than TikToks or whatever else is going on mobile devices. Yeah, I mean, Tencent has a hand in, like, a lot of video game companies. A lot of people just don't have an understanding about how all of these systems and companies are interconnected in the global economy that we exist in. These kids with their my books and their facey spaces letting everybody know who their top 8 friends are. Kids these days, imagine if you would. All right, so I think the game plan here is we leaf out this Executor, and then we take the knockout with this, so that way if they put up Magikarp into Gyarados, they only get a single knockout point. Gotta make sure people know who your fave 5 are. Yep. I've seen my audience demographics. I know there's a lot of people watching this stream right now that spent way too much time getting the HTML code right on their MySpace page back in the day. How dare you call me out like that? Yep, don't forget to take an aspirin for your back, gamer. My biggest regret in life is removing Tom from my friend list. So, to be political for a moment, I think Tom from MySpace is an example of one of the few and possibly only non-sociopathic people in the .com space that made a bunch of money. Because when Tom from MySpace made a bunch of money, he just like cashed it out and disappeared, and we don't hear about him anymore, and he's just like off living his best life, enjoying himself somewhere. All of these people like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk and whatever that are so desperate and thirsty for attention that they can't just like have a giant pile of money and disappear and just live happily out of the public eye is so sociopathic and weird. Any remotely normal person has life-changing amounts of money. You're just like, yeah, I'm just gonna disappear. Just gonna like go live my life happily away from everybody else and take care of me and mine and just like live out my days in peace. If you gave me $1 billion, I wouldn't tell anyone, but there would be signs. Yep. All right, the way this played out here, we have Executor into Mew, assuming they don't take our energy away. All right, we won that flip. That's nice. So then next turn, I need them to not take an energy off of Mew, and then we've got a real shot here, yeah? Oh, wait. I forgot they have a point already. Oh, I'm just dead, yeah? Ignore me. In my brain, they didn't have a knockout point, but they do. Yeah, I didn't have any lines here. If I sack Butterfree, I don't have a way to build up. Yeah, if it would have been a Leaf instead of an Erica, we could have lived. I could have sacked the Butterfree and then had the Mew. No, because I needed a hit, right? I needed the Executor to be able to live. I mean, I was talking and clicking a little bit to not realize we were dead, but I didn't have a better line even if I would have thought about that. We were just dead. I think once you hit 100 million, you should just be forced to retire from your career in the public. Yeah. You know, when no good communists like myself or socialists or whatever right-wingers like to label us talk about we should tax the rich. We're not talking about like upper middle class people who are like successful and might be able to retire someday because they make a decent amount of money. Like there's magnitudes different between someone like me who makes, you know, low 6 figures in a year and someone who's like has enough money to build rockets to screw off into space with. Like I live very comfortably providing for my family with what I've worked so far here in my job, and like, you know, what I make's a rounding error to someone like Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk. Yeah, 6 figures is a wide range, with the low point begins with a 1 and the high point begins with a 9. Yeah, that's true too. So that's why I try to make an effort to say low. make it a little bit more clear what we mean. It's a big spread. Beat 'em off. It's a lot of damages. This is 50 per turn cycle essentially here. Big Salazit energy. Finest heads, please, gamers. Thank you, Egg. Hey, Yamp, thanks for the over 2 years. Appreciate it. Welcome back. There have been a lot of grass enjoyers in the queue today, for sure. Hit 4-1 and then 5-0 with the Starmie, Lumi, Neon deck. Hey, glad you're having fun with it, Byron. It's easily one of the most satisfying decks to play in Pokemon Pocket right now. How much money is enough to retire in the world today? It probably depends on exactly how old you are, but like somewhere in like the 3 to 5 million range is probably realistic. 10 definitely. Used to be less than that, but gestures broadly at everything. That heads here is solid. It means my Mew can finish this with a Sharp Sting next turn. Yeah, it depends on your lifestyle too, is definitely true. Like, for reference, I've talked about it in recent memory too, like, my last 2 years focusing on Marvel Snap were some of my best years making content here, but like, my wife and I didn't really go crazy, right? Like, it just meant that I funded my 401k retirement account fully for the first time in my life. We bought a used camper and rent a site at a private campground. That was our big splurge expense. We got a deal on that from a family member who was too old to enjoy it anymore. I think we Sabrina and then went on the heads here, yeah? Okay. That's fine with this Erica here. Well, I guess Erica plus Potion means the Beedrill takes a while, because just Erica, this actually still dies in 3 to this, but with the Potion it takes 4, which is nice. That sounds super nice. It is, yeah. So Erica. Do this. Man, them having the budding, what's it called there, is pretty brutal. Although I suppose if they don't have another heal for this Beedrill, my Mew clears it next turn. And then the Mew into Mew is a pretty big wet noodle contest, huh? Oh, another Erica is so scuffed. Another Potion here at least. Like, I would like a Caterpie, please. Oh, yikes. Alright. Staying alive, staying alive. I really kind of want to hit a heads here, so that way My Mew can clear next turn. Perfect. Yes, this is definitely a marathon, not a sprint. All the Ericas on both sides here. Thanks for the Wiggly Eggs deck. I got my 5-0 on the first try. Nice. Them pulling the Beedrill out so I can't clear it here is smart. Giovanni! Oh no! But I navigated this game really well. It's been a good back and forth. Alright, we live to see another day. If we can find the Caterpie here, we can charge this back up and get ahead here, I think. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Jeff, did you quit teaching to make content, or did you quit teaching for other reasons? I'm a college educator myself, and I find it gets more and more difficult. I mean, like most people that go into teaching, I really enjoyed teaching. I was just only adjunct faculty who get paid absolute trash. Like, for reference, when I was still teaching a decade ago, the pay rate for the schools that I was teaching at, various colleges and universities in the hour distance of me, they paid like between like $1,200 to $1,500 USD per class per semester for an adjunct. And like I said, I'm not going to be ultra wealthy anytime soon doing what I do here on Twitch, but like, I make low six figures, which is significantly more than that. Use our Erica this turn. What instrument does your daughter play? My daughter is only 4.5, so she just goes to kinder music where they get to play with a bunch of different stuff. That's her music class this afternoon. Yeah, I have a graduate degree in mathematics. I spent time teaching at both the high school and college level. God, this absolute slog of a game, huh? Okay, so I have 2 copies of Leaf, which gives me a ton of maneuverability here. So I think it's Energy on Executor, and then Butterfree, and then we switch this out, because if I can hit heads on this Executor, it would be a big deal. Another really grindy game where having this 1 of Butterfree could be really instrumental. Looking good for us, looking good for us. My wife is adjuncting for 1K per credit. I mean, that's markedly more than I was making a decade ago. The 12 to 1500 are like for typically 3 credit hour classes. All right, so Energy here, Leaf the Executor out, Genome hacking the Sharp Sting, Butterfree heals our friends up. I think the Butterfree is gonna drag us across the finish line here. They only have 1 card left in their hand, and I've still got a ton of maneuverability here. I only need 1 more knockout point. And if they put the Mew up, our Wet Noodle contest favors us. That was a fun grinding game. It's nice that the Butterfree actually got to flex. We were talking about this was my wife's that I big splurge purchase after my two good years of content doing Snap. Those are campers in the back, and it's got a deck on the front of it, and it just stays there. It's a park model, so it doesn't get pulled, which is great. I don't want to tow something. And then this looks down at it, so the camper's off to the left here, and it looks down at a nice little creek. There's daughter with her chair under the tree. We're big outdoor people. We do tent camping with the boys a couple of times a year too, but it's nice to have something that's just like semi-permanent. How far a drive? It's about 70 minutes from my house, which is not bad. All right, gamers, we've got really solid viewer counts, and I appreciate everybody that showed up here today, but I have to get going. So like I said, we're taking the toddler over to her music class this afternoon. I plan to do a nice full day of streaming Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday this week. If you missed it, I got my 5-win streak done with a baby Pidgeot Hitmonlee fighting deck that's going to have a highlight later this afternoon on the Hooglandia Pocket channel. If you're looking for my deck recommendations, I have 6 different decks that I think are an excellent choice for getting this emblem event done quite easily here. Check that out. And I want to emphasize that this video is not just me telling you the 6 best decks in Pokemon Pocket. I talk through decks that I think have good matchup spreads across the board and aren't going to be super polarized and auto lose to things like Gyarados, because I think playing a deck that has like that 30% matchup in this event where you need to get 5 in a row is kind of a miss. So I'm signing off. On the Twitch side, I'm gonna... Do we got anybody to raid into that I'm following? Ursi's streaming. I'm gonna go ahead and raid Ursi on the Twitch side. Check her out if you're looking for more live content. Otherwise, check out my YouTube stuff, and I'll be back tomorrow morning. Peace, folks.